Here we are, everybody. It is 2:30. I'm excited about this. I'm nervous. I literally have not talked to Luke about The Flash. For those who are watching, this is live streaming on the Facebook page for I Want My TV Now, I Want My TV Now, and Chief Brody Rules. So there's people who might not know. I have Chief Brody Rules, and I'm going to invite my friend Luke on. I just got to hit the share button on Facebook, and here we go. And I'm going to introduce my guest. He's a best friend to me for the last 10 years. And I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I don't know what he thinks of this movie. He doesn't know what I think about this movie. We played like radio silent. So I'm going to invite him on. This is my friend, very good friend, Luke Deckard.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Much to talk about.
Oh my God. Okay, so for those who don't know, me and Luke talked about The Flash a few months ago, and Luke was not excited. Neither was I. I was like, lukewarm on it, no pun intended. But I was like, let's talk about it. Let's break down the trailer, because I think after the trailer dropped, the first one, we were like DMing each other all the time. So we're like, let's just talk about it on the show. So we talked about it on the show, and as we were talking about it, we got super excited about The Flash. So
the story that we came up with is what got us excited.
Yes, which was pretty close. I think the only thing that didn't come true was the Zod ship. That was like completely different. But other than that, we got a lot of points right.
Yeah.
From what I recall. Yeah. I did rewatch that stream, and I'm like, oh my God. Because like there's one in the beginning, I want to keep some spoiler free for like the first 5-10 minutes, and then we'll go into spoilers.
Yeah.
But there was like a spoiler that you guessed off like maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to the stream. And I was like, yeah, I agree, but maybe it's going to be this other person, but you got it right. So I was like, oh man.
Okay, you're going to have to remind me in 10 minutes time, because I don't remember. Yes. I haven't had time to go back. I wanted to watch the stream again, but I haven't had time.
Yeah. The time. Who's got the time? Okay. For those who don't know, because this is streaming at Chief Brody Rules, just explain to the folks who you are.
So I'm Luke Deckard. I am a writer. I've written for podcasts. I've written for books. I have my own show called Luke Deckard Show, where I chat with people like Frank or authors and other creatives, and we either talk about pop culture stuff, or we'll talk about the craft of writing or artistic stuff. And that's who I am, and I like action figures.
Yes, as do
Batman.
I. Batman.
But Indiana Jones is cooler. I really love this new indie figure that I got. I'm not going to lie.
I think I'm going to hold off for the SF Figure Arts Indiana Jones. That looks cooler. I was like, ooh. Yeah. I do like that one. Because like the one you have, I think has like a solid belly. So it doesn't interrupt that.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted like the pivot, so he could like pivot.
The pivot.
Pivot. Yes. Indy. Okay, so oh God. All right, Luke, without getting to spoilers, what did you think of Flash?
It's an interesting experience because I want to drop this in now, but we'll talk about this in more detail later. But I, weirdly enough, at the end of the movie, I got into a conversation with one of the stewardesses and one of the other two people who went to see the film that day. At that show, it was 3 people in the cinema that day, me and 2 others, and we, as we were walking out, ended up getting into a conversation about it. So that was interesting. But my takeaway, it's complicated. It's complicated. Okay. I far from love it. It's far from good. It's not terrible, but it is very messy and unnecessarily complicated.
Oh my God. So that's the full thing?
With the addition of, it has some of the worst CGI I've seen in a very long time, and some of the flattest characters in the DC universe, in DCU, DC whatever, DCEU, some of the flattest characters that made me, it disappointed me because I felt some of the flat characters deserved better. But we'll go into those characters when we get there.
I like Captain Underdog's comment. So you're saying it's okay.
I mean, I don't think I can recommend it.
Oh my gosh.
Don't go to the cinema. Don't go to the cinema to see it. It's bottom. It's not quite bottom of the barrel, but it's like a few tiers above the bottom. It's not the worst DC film, but it's, you know, is it better than Batman v Superman? I had more fun watching this than Batman v Superman. But that's a shit film. In my opinion. I've, you know, whatever. What about you?
Okay, so I'm polar opposite. I like this movie. I don't think I love it. I do like it. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I want to get this straight out of the way in the air. And it was funny. I was planning this since last night. I'm like, I have to say this right away. I honestly don't give a shit about the CGI, and I don't have the energy to stand up for it, and I don't have the energy to defend it or complain about it. I don't have the energy. And honestly, it didn't affect my viewing experience. I didn't care about the CGI. I honestly didn't. It had no effect on my opinion of the film. None. Zero. Zip. None. So like, I won't even argue about that. That's like, I'm not even gonna bring it up for the future thing. If you do bring something up, we'll talk about it.
Scene though. We don't need to talk about it on the CGI level because it is gross. But we do need to talk about the baby scene, because what in the Looney Tunes was that?
Yeah, we'll get to that before.
Yes,
I got a comment here.
Any Mummy Returns-esque CGI, the whole thing.
I don't think so. No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
No.
Some of the Speed Force stuff was
we'll
really
get to
bad.
it. We'll get to it. But like, I don't like that's not on my issues here. I do like it. I like Michael Keaton. I thought that was fantastic. Like he brought it. Like I felt like the same character, which I liked. That was good.
Okay, do you want me to tell you what I liked after you finished?
Oh yeah, sure. Tell you what you like. Yeah. But I'm just gonna straightforward what I liked. Hate to say this, but I liked Ezra Miller. Regardless what you think of him in real life, he actually did a decent job. Regardless what you think of the other character, because I think the difference of the characters actually helped a lot out. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. I don't think it inspired me to do how much longer does the program need? At least I don't think so. I'm thinking about it, and I don't think it did. But there's like elements I liked about it, and there was a certain point where I was just like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm down with this movie. And it's a shame that we won't be able to see some of these characters come back. Unless this makes money and like Warner Brothers bows to knee whoever makes money. But it's a shame that we won't see some characters. We'll get to that later as well. And but I enjoyed it. It's a fun night out at the movies. I like how you're saying like bottom of the barrel terrible. It's like I've seen bottom of the barrel terrible. I've seen Rings in the theater. I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D in the theater. I've seen bad movies. So when you say like something like this is like bottom of the barrel trash, it's like I've seen trash. No.
I am saying in the comic book pantheon of comic book films, not in films in general, because bottom of the barrel would be like everything on Best and the Worst. But
even that, Luke, like this was better than like Black Widow. This was better than Eternals.
Yes.
So it's not bottom of the barrel, at least in my opinion.
It's not bottom. But it is getting close. It's getting close.
We've had 10 years of bad movies. I don't think so.
But I would say the Flash TV show did a better crossover, and I got bored with that whole Arrowverse nonsense.
Oh, that's the other thing. Everyone's tired about crossovers now. Meanwhile, we're just like starting. That's
the films are just starting. Like. I know it's nuts.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god, I'm tired." It's like, man, we were like 3 movies in, and you're already tired of this. Come on, get real.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more to come up ahead of us, and this is nothing. This is this is the tip of the iceberg, and everyone's like, "I'm tired." Oh, but yeah.
On your point to Ezra Miller, because he is a pervert and he is a criminal and did some
Allegedly.
allegedly awful things.
Allegedly.
But at the beginning of the movie, I utterly hated him. And then there's a moment where he switches, and it's almost like, what did they tell him? Like someone told him to start acting like a completely different character, because he goes from an autistic moron to a fully realized mature adult in the span of like 0.0005 seconds. It's such a weird shift. And I was like, why were you not acting like this, like back in Justice League? Why were you not acting like a real goddamn human way back then? You've already tainted my enjoyment of your character from that stupid performance. And then you finally start acting like an adult. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of liking this a little bit more in this role, because you're not acting like a bumbling buffoon who should be on an episode of New Girl. So, and the thing was interesting. Do you want to talk about I won't go into details yet because I don't know how far you want to go, but
because right now we're still in the beginning, so I don't know.
It made his character more interesting when he had to have the juxtaposition with his younger self, which meant that we really should have been with a more mature Barry this whole time, because
we better. Yeah, this is going to get spoiler territory.
That's all I'm saying.
We'll get to it. We'll just continue. Is there any positive things you want to say before we get into spoilers? Because it looks like we're going to get right into it.
I like Keaton. I thought he was mostly fine. We can talk about his introduction, but I don't have anything negative to say about Keaton. The stuff we saw in the trailer, the Member Berry lines, we didn't need them. They didn't add anything.
There was one Member Berry scene that's probably my favorite moment of the movie, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. I really liked the idea behind Kara. I like the actress. She can act, and I mostly believed her in the role. It's just she had so little, but we'll go into detail about that later. And shame, beautiful, talented actress, wasted. But I like the idea. There are bits of action that I did like. I didn't dislike all of the action. I think there are some good action scenes. The opening was split for me, because there was a lot of action that I liked, but then there was a lot of action that was bad CG. And also I sort of felt like in the opening, I was reading issue 5 of 6 of a comic, and I hadn't read the first 4 issues. And I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what am I meant to be? What is going on, guys? So that was, elements of that I liked. Those early introduction, those early farewells. Do we want to talk about Wonder Woman?
You just spoiled it for everybody, bad.
Did I?
She hasn't been in any of the promotion stuff.
Not Wonder Woman. Hey, it's been 14 minutes. It's been 14 minutes.
All right, guys. All right, we can't hold it any longer. We're like what's his face in Iron Giant. Apologize everybody in advance for this. Zip.
Yeah. But it's hard now. It's hard to now talk about the movie without talking spoilers, I think. So apologize for that.
The banner is up.
Yeah.
The banner is up. Spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, get the hell out of here. Because we're going to talk about it now. Okay.
So Jedi G-Man says Wonder Woman has a Flash Funko Pop. I could have swore that that they talked about her being in the film. So I didn't think that was a spoiler.
Not every
Jedi G-Man. Thank you.
Don't stand up for Luke.
More people are against
you. Give him more power. You're giving him more power. What I was going to say is, not everybody knows about the Funko Pops, because even you didn't know about the Funko Pops. I had to show you the Funko Pops.
True. Oh, there was a Jedi.
No, you remember, because I showed you the baby one, and I showed you his prototype suit.
Yes.
That's true.
That's true. But yeah, of course she was going to be in it. They're cameoing in all of these last minute films for to get a few more bits of screen time.
One last hurrah,
and to see who they're going to bring back and who they're not going to bring back. I think.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we could finish our thoughts on the Ezra Miller thing. The thing because you kind of brought it up, is that in the beginning it's a little because like he's he hasn't met himself yet. So when he meets himself, I think he sort of matures. Like he says, "Oh, I see what my issues are. I'm going to stop doing those."
Yeah,
that's kind of goes into that. And then I do like the difference between the two characters because one is clearly educated because he went to school and forced himself into the books because his mother passed away, and the other one's just a dipshit asshole idiot, like literally idiot. Like it's hilarious, and the difference between the two of them is like striking, and you could tell who's who, and it never got confusing, which I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just, I think it would have serviced the film better if he was mature from the beginning, and there was some sort of allusion to him being really immature, really annoying, really frustrating in those early years of his superpower, gaining superpowers.
Yeah. I kind of have to give a pass to all that, but just because there was only 2 movies. Like he had like a brief 2-second cameo in Suicide Squad.
I agree.
The Justice League, so there's not much there to go off of.
Well, no, what I mean is he should have been more mature in Justice League.
That was a mess. We got 2 different directors working on it with the studio interference. It's a mess. That's like, to me, that's like an anomaly. It's like so effed up. It's like I don't even like right now. The only thing that's like canon, quote unquote canon in my head is like the Snyder Cut, just because that studio version is such a mess. It's just like I can't. But that's me. I know there's people out there who probably love the 2017 movie. I don't know if there is. Might be. What was the other thing I was going to say before we get into the storyline? Because I did write bullet points as we get to the storyline. Yeah. Let's see. He was good as the 2 characters. I thought the cameos were pretty decent. Like the Wonder Woman thing was pretty good. And that's right. That was what I wanted to talk about because it slipped my mind, but we got back to it. Okay, you said that you felt like you're reading issue 5. That happened to me because I'm sitting next to my mom and she's like, "What the hell happened? What's going on?" Yeah. And I just had to tell her to be patient. I'm like, the movie's going to tell us. Because I was like, oh God. Because I'm like, there's a lot of people in this theater probably have no idea who the hell Flash is. No one watched 9 seasons of the TV show. That's a very small niche audience. No one's reading the books. So I got somebody who has no idea who this character is. She doesn't remember Justice League. Yeah. She's like, who is this character? What's going on? I feel like I'm like, please just have patience. Because I'm like, they got to explain it somehow. And they do. They explain it through the movie. They go to the flashback. And then not only that, but they show how he got his powers in an interesting way. Because you know how we always see like the origin story, but this one is funny because the origin story is seen through the dumber Barry. So you see all his tribulations and stuff that he got wrong through that. So I was like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. It's a different way to show the origin story without being the origin story. Because one guy already knows the problems and the other one's learning it, and it's kind of in a silly way. Yeah. Not all the jokes land. I agree. Not all the jokes land. There's some.
No. But there's some Last Jedi bad humor in this.
But there's some I do like. Like the one that really made me pop was like when he goes through the wall to get the beer, and then he opens it because he was vibrating through the wall, so it's all shook up. I like that because that's hilarious. I think people in the audience don't even understand that joke because they didn't laugh. I'm like, it's funny because he shook the bottle up.
Yeah, I thought that was funny, but the problem for me was we'd already had 3 other like failed comedy gags leading up to that because we have the I need to go clean my house real quick.
I thought that was funny.
Followed by let's go inside and have one of the cupboards open up and everything fall out.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And see, I was like, but it was cliche humor. I was like, yeah, but this is predictable humor. This isn't fun. This isn't original. Like this. Come on. How many times has the cupboard?
How many super speed movies have you watched? No, I'm seriously I'm serious. Like how many super speed? Yeah,
we're talking comedy in general. I mean, I watched Smallville. I watched The Flash.
Those are TV.
It doesn't matter. We've seen speedsters in film. So it's like I don't mind the idea of I need to clean the house up, but it's like okay, the cupboard falling open. We've seen this stuff in other films, even without the speed stuff. Like we've seen this gag many times before. Is this the best you could come up with? Like,
yes, because it's Warner Brothers.
The
whole series is messed up.
Warner Bros. did Nice Guys,
and then they didn't make a sequel, and they failed. They failed releasing it, and it flopped.
Sorry, I do like this comment from Robbo. Sickos like Justice League 2017.
Yes. Yeah. Sickos.
Man.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start from the beginning of the movie because I got bullet
Sure.
points of the movie,
Yeah.
and we'll walk through the movie.
Yeah.
Just so we're not bouncing around with half thoughts. Okay,
Yeah.
so the opening scene, from what I recall, is because some of it, like there's some scenes I was writing, like, what happened here? What happened? There's some little plot points I might have forgotten. So if I forget anything, let me know.
Yeah.
So it opens up with Gotham City's in trouble, of course, and the Justice League is completely busy, and the last help that anyone's asking for is from Flash. And he's trying to get some calories in him, which I thought was interesting, but I don't really think it plays later into the movie. They sort of
they forget it entirely.
Yeah, they drop that element towards the end of the movie. But yeah, I like that whole intro because it sort of introduces that he needs food, but then it's like completely dropped later on. But yeah, it's like a little fun sequence where he's at the barista and.
You know what you should have done with that is you've set it up that he needs calories. Mm-hmm. That should have been the setup. The payoff should have been towards the end of the movie. He's running low on energy and has to overcome that somehow through some sort of smarts rather than power. That's the setup. That's the payoff.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. But I do.
And there's
go on.
Mm-hmm. I do like after watching this movie and then rewatching some TV spots. I think there's a lot of reshoots with this movie, and I think it's a miracle that it works at all. Because I think there's a lot of restructuring, rejiggering, and the fact that it's basically understandable and kind of makes sense through the whole thing. It's a miracle at all, honestly.
Because I felt like watching it. I'm not spoiling or jumping too far ahead, but I felt like
spoilers.
The opening felt like a Batfleck movie featuring the Flash. Mm-hmm. The middle of the movie felt like a Keaton movie with a bit of Supergirl, and then the end bit was like an episode of the Flash. It was that's to me like it was just sort of jarring in that way because it's like they focus on Batfleck, they focus on Keaton stroke Supergirl, and then we need to resolve the Flash's storyline. We'll do that in the last 20 minutes of the movie. It's like, okay, so you have like 3 different ideas mixed with a bit of Man of Steel. Why?
I think it's a bit much saying that it's Affleck in the beginning because he's literally in the movie for that one scene when he's saying, Barry, you could ruin everything. Like literally, that is like the only scene and probably a couple close-up of him on the bike. But I feel like he's hardly in the beginning. Like it's Flash in the beginning, him running up the building, him troubleshooting all the things.
I think it's the Alfred bit.
I would disagree. Yeah. Well, even Alfred's in this movie like less than Affleck. He's probably in here like 3 minutes.
No, but like. Yeah, but you don't feel like that beginning where it's like Alfred calls him and it's like, okay, the Flash has been, like I said, it's issue 5 of a Batman comic. The Alfred calls the Flash, come help Batman. We're seeing the Flash's bits because it's Batman is one who knows about. I think that's his one.
But it's all from Flash's point of view.
I think that's where my mind is coming from. It's
Batman
mission that the Flash has to come in and fix, sort of not fix, but deal with the hospital.
Yeah, I kindly disagree. I think it's pretty solid from Flash's point of view, and he's being wrapped into the story, even though it's not from Affleck's point of view at all, because Affleck's hardly in it. Yeah. Because then it goes into him trying to, like figure out the situation of the building collapsing and the babies. And we'll get to the babies. We could finally talk about the babies. It's a silly sequence. I think that's like the director's kind of humor because he did the It movies, so he's trying to save the babies. I think the one that went a little too far is when he put the baby in the microwave. I'm like, that's a bit much. That was too much.
A little bit.
But everything else, like, it's so bad that like the point, like when he takes the baby out of the microwave, it's a CGI baby. But then when he hands the baby off to the doctor, it's a real baby. So you could tell that there was an issue with this microwave bit. So I was just like,
yeah. What did you think in that? Right, Ezra gets the phone call, right, and when he's in the sandwich shop and he's just babbling away, and I mean the sandwich guy, that none of that was funny. None of that was funny.
It's not funny, but that does happen. I thought that was the most realistic thing of the goddamn movie. Because people bitch about their jobs, and I'm like, I can relate to this guy right now. I'll fully admit that. Like even today, like there's a little bit of complaining that I'm like, I don't need to hear you complaining about your job. So it may not have been funny, but like I felt for Ezra. I felt for Ezra, and then like going there and seeing that you're a regular person, and you're like, I just want my regular, and then you have to explain it to this person, and then this person like spills the beans onto you, and it's just like, I don't care, just do your job.
Now,
so that's my view. Completely different though.
The scene after that, when he's outside and he's gearing up to do his speeding away thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl stops in the street and she's like a 14-year-old girl, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love you." Da 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 da. A, why is he famous? I don't know, whatever. But B, just given the fact that part of Ezra Miller's alleged crimes is that he abducted a minor. And then in your opening scene, you have this minor gushing over him, and it felt weird to me. That felt weird. I don't think we needed that, because all that scene made me think of was, oh yeah, he allegedly is weird with minors.
Yeah, so I didn't think any of that. Yeah. I didn't think any of that. I separated. I wasn't thinking about his personal life, and not only that. Yeah. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say 85% of the audience doesn't know about the allegations. I'm going to say that right now. Maybe it's that,
but the two people that I spoke with after the film, both brought not that scene up, but both brought up the uncomfortable feeling of, we want to see this movie, but are we okay supporting this movie because he's a creep? So again, that's a small number of people, but these are two strangers I ran into. Yeah, that both had the same feeling.
Yeah, but to me, again, it's outside allegations. It didn't mess with my opinion of the movie because I separated from it. I'm seeing this as a movie itself.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch it for the story. I'm not even thinking about that, because to me, it was just a simple bit of him trying to get anything, any kind of food, and he tried to get a candy bar, but he couldn't even get the time to get a candy bar. A guy who's a super fast speedster doesn't have the time to eat. So that's what that's what I got from the scene. I wasn't thinking about the allegations.
Sure. But then what about the Zack Snyder scene in the Snyder Cut? They did that really kind of fun scene with him getting the food.
Yeah. Well, Zack Snyder did it better.
Yes, he did.
Zack Snyder's I think is a more competent director than this guy, because I feel like this guy he can't find a right balance. Like the first It movie is awesome. I love the first It movie, but the second one is all over the place. Yeah. And with this one, again, it's all over the place. But I thought it was better than It Chapter 2, because with It Chapter 2, it lost me. It lost me probably 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
This, I was on board for the movie, and I was excited, I had fun. But yeah, he is a mixed bag though. Like the microwave baby thing. Like that's too much.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Because I also felt like I'm only gonna make one comment about Young Barry, and it's his like very immature dude bro laugh.
I thought that was going to come in later. I thought, when they run into that dark speedster. Oh, sorry, but I just want to mention this beforehand. I thought that dark speedster was going to come into the third act and really start doing that, doing that laugh. I thought that was setting up.
Going to be an actual villain in the story.
I thought it was going to come up towards the end. I really did, because I'm like, they're setting up this laugh for something, but it doesn't get set up. Maybe they were. Maybe reshoots took it out, because it really seems like they're dropping that.
Yeah.
So like at the end, instead of the face cracking and you see the face, I think the reveal would have been like where he does that laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, it's like Judge Doom and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Where you hear the laugh, you're like, oh, it's that guy. But yeah, I see what you mean. Go ahead, finish your thought. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I think that was more or less it. It's that it felt like he did the laugh, and because it didn't pay off, it was like, why do it? But B, it also felt like I can imagine them filming the scene and saying, "Oh, Ezra, do like a college dude bro sort of laugh," and they all just laugh at him doing the laugh, oh god, it's so funny.
It's funnier on set. Yeah, it's funnier on set than it is in the movie. Yeah. But to me, it kind of separates the characters, because one is an idiot and the other one is in a serious situation. So yeah.
Would he? I understand when you're dumb and you're in college, you're 18 or whatever. But if you're going to college for, I don't know, criminology or something like that, would you
He is
really
not, though, because he's not in that lab. That's the whole point. He's going to school for something else. And he's like, wait a minute.
Oh, was he? Was he?
Yeah, he's in school for something else. And then he had to get him to that lab because he wasn't in the lab practicing with the stuff. So he had to get his powers that way. He didn't even have access to that lab.
That's right. Yeah. So whatever. That bit was sort of unclear to me, I guess. Yeah, that bit that lost me. I thought, I didn't realize what he was actually studying.
Yeah, because it's a different Barry in general, so that's why because he's going to go on a date. He met her somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then that's why. And then he didn't even have a key card to get in. True. If he had a key card, they could have just got right in. But
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
What's the next bullet point? I don't want to jump ahead.
Bullet point. Yeah, we're good. So we got the microwave, we got the sandwich scene, and then the terrible friends. Because I was like, man, they're not ruthless friends he's hanging out with at this lab. And the fact that I don't understand. I think they were just trying to show that he has like shitty friends, and that the only friend he really does have is like Bruce Wayne. I don't know, but like it was so weird that he would leave his work to go have lunch with them, and they were treating him like shit the whole time.
Yeah,
that was so odd.
Yeah, I remember when that scene came on, I thought, wait a minute, like these people are assholes. You're a superhero. I don't understand why we are being introduced to this element that literally doesn't pay off in any way, shape, or form. That you cut those characters from the film, nothing changes. They're complete flab.
The only reason why they're there, Devil's Advocate studio note, is we got to have him meet Iris in some way that seems natural. How about we have his co-workers make fun of him like, haha, you didn't finish your report in time about your dad. And then, they do that because that's how he meets Iris downstairs, and then Iris gets involved.
I mean, in terms of a natural meeting, like, my God, like she already knows him.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. She does.
No.
Because, hang on. She does. The film is very uneven with this because at the beginning, he's like, you know my name. And then there's other bits where his dad in the past, the flashbacky bits, are like, oh, did you call that girl yet? No, when he's talking on the phone or something like that. Oh, did you call he's like, I ran into Iris, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, oh, yeah, you knew her in college, da-da-da-da-da. And that is in the main timeline. That's in the main Barry timeline. So I was like, wait a minute. And also, they had the goddamn scene in the Justice League movie. They clearly have. I think she was like working at a coffee shop in that movie.
She's in the Snyder Cut.
She's a reporter.
Okay, I'm going to correct all this. Her scene's only in the Snyder Cut. He's on the phone. He's saying get a date with the girl. I don't even think he talks about Iris. I think the Iris scene you're thinking of is when he's at the 2013 timeline. I think, unless there is one. If there is one, then maybe it's just a crush because she doesn't really know him. Yeah, they casual friends, but like her scene is only in the Snyder Cut because she was completely cut out.
She was
Joss Whedon one.
If anyone in the chat remembers, let us know. But I could have swore during that conversation when he's having his flashback memory that there was a comment that Ezra made a comment. That Barry made a comment about running into her.
It wouldn't be because the flashback in that scene would be him as a 13.
No. Like during their phone call, because the Flash is on the phone with his dad.
But they're talking about that flashback is when he was a kid, when he's 10.
Yes, no, but I'm saying during the phone call, I'm pretty sure Barry mentions to his dad during the phone call, right in and around that whole scene. He mentions to his dad that he ran into Iris. I'm pretty sure that happened. I might be wrong. I'll have to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure that happened. Which is why
either way. Which is why I would see her as a crush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Woo!
Either way, I just think it was a crush. I don't think they really knew each other.
No, they didn't. But that's my wider point. Is she knows him not enough, but they have a background to where she could have just been like, Barry, hey, we remember. I mean, there was a lot of remember us in college moments, but they could have been like, yeah, see. Then his dad was like, didn't you have a crush on the girl? Yeah, see. Thank you, Shane Ford. Thank you.
The crush still.
But yeah, but it seems enough if she is a reporter now to be like, hey, Barry Allen, it's you might not remember, but we hung out. We went to the same university together. We were both friends with Todd McShane. Blah, blah, blah. How's it going with your dad? And then you find out she's a reporter trying to get information, and he's like, oh, I liked you. Now you're being a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's natural.
Well, they did, though. They did that, but they should have done it a different
way. But how boring was she? That's the real problem.
She had nothing to do, and that's it. She's in like 2 scenes. She's trying to get information out of him, and then the next scene, they're in the apartment, and he's already thinking about something else. He's trying to get the movie going.
Yeah, yeah. And
she's trying to have a character moment, and he's like trying to get the movie going.
Yeah, and that she's the first. She's number one of flat characters who add nothing to the movie and don't need to be there. And it's a waste of an actor. The waste of an actor.
Yeah, because it doesn't really come in later.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The one thing that they set up, and I'm like, ooh, I wish they kept it in their back pocket, is that when he gets that chip from Bruce Wayne, I wish that it was loading or updating or whatever at that time, so you don't know the outcome of the chip.
Yeah. Because
they play their hand. They show their hand. They're saying that,
yes,
the chip, we see the footage, but your dad doesn't look up. Because later in the movie, towards the end, well, just jumping ahead a little bit, but at the end of the movie, when his father looks up, I'm like, oh shit, the timeline's changed.
Yeah.
He did something else.
He moved the tins.
Yeah, he moved the glasses and put the outfit on. He should have just went in there and just put it back. And that's probably what he learned the next time. Just go back and just don't touch anything else. I already had my moment with my mom, just that.
Yeah.
Because the post-credit scenes sets everything back in place. But anyway.
Yeah.
I just wish that I didn't play their hand. Like it was still like uploading or something.
But also with that chip, why did Bruce Wayne leave that on his goddamn doorstep? It's not even inside his house. He's walking down the corridor and there's an envelope on the floor outside his house, his flat. Batman couldn't get that inside his house?
Yeah, I'm not going to.
This is like crucial evidence to your dad's, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Appeal. And you just left it carelessly on the front door.
Yeah. Didn't affect my viewing.
I just thought Batman is meant to be smarter than this. Come on.
It doesn't. That's like That's like saying, why is he wearing a red shirt? I don't know.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, like to me, in my opinion, it is. Like I'm watching a Flash movie by Warner Brothers.
Still, I don't care. Be smarter with X-Men 2, damn it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Anyway, so next scene. Okay, so we have Iris start to the apartment, and that's when he gets the idea about time travel. We're actually, hang on, no, what happens? The phone call, he gets the phone call with Dad, and then the time travel happens because he's running because he's upset.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then we see the CGI world. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, they're doing something weird with it, and this is what people are complaining about because it's his vision of that.
Yeah.
Again, and it made me think, I guess I'll talk about it now before we get into it. But like it's kind of like the reason why Spider-Verse works and this doesn't work is because with Spider-Verse, it's animation.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about creepy CGI lookalikes or cameos. You just have to draw them in different styles, and that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing that doesn't cross over with these movies in live action, no matter who does this at whatever point, because it'll be grave digging, it'll be bad CGI, it'll always look terrible, and we're not at that point yet. And even if we're at that point, people are going to complain that you're grave digging. Yep. So that's why I'm like, I have to like turn off that thing about the bad CGI and all the weird things, just because it's like we're in live action. It's not going to be perfect. It'll be perfect in like 10, 15, 20 years, maybe. Probably 5 years if we really try hard enough. 5 years. Yeah. But like that's the reason why Spider-Verse works and the live action doesn't quite work, because even like the Tobey Maguire movies, you have to de-age Alfred Spider Doc Ock, and you got to have old footage from Lizard and a CGI Sandman. That's why things don't quite work in the live action.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, with this, when I saw the CGI world, I'm like, okay, I accept this. This is a weirdo vision. It's how he's seeing time and space and multiverses.
I didn't actually mind that. When I complain about the CGI, I'm mostly complaining about rubbery bad action scenes, which include the babies, a lot of Supergirl, and a lot of that fight towards the end, where it's just very, very rubbery looking fake people. I didn't mind. I think really they could have been more creative with the Speed Force stuff. Just to make it more obvious that this is some sort of trippy, timey thing. You could have go further with that. I
do agree with that. They could have done something even crazier.
Yeah.
Maybe even go to like a cartoon world where you could see all those where it's okay. Yeah. Because the odd uncanny valley does affect. I would say it definitely affects the audience members, and either way how it goes, it's going to offend somebody. But I just want to get that out there before we get later into the movie. But that's my point of view right now. So that's why I'm explaining this movie. So so he gets the time travel thing. I do think they could have done something different with that as well when he puts his face back into the past.
Yeah.
I thought that was goofy. I'm like, they could have done something better.
I agree.
But other than that, I do like how they did that. Like, okay, he found out because he was just running with full emotion, going fast, just trying to get away from his pain, but then accidentally time travels. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I do like that.
What was really bizarre to me, though, and this is down to like there being 3 films or so in this one film, was that the real plot was never really picked up, and you want to save your dad, that's fine. You want to clear his name. Why is no one asking the question, who the F murdered his mom?
Right. Yeah.
Like that's a big Flash storyline. And we even remember him being in the house and hearing a noise downstairs, and then seeing the dad. Why in the world was that not? I mean, this really should have been a time travel murder mystery. That's what this film should have been. But they wanted to throw in Keaton, they wanted to throw in Supergirl, they wanted to throw in multiverse, and in the end, we got the real plot would have been, let's find the guy who did it, which is in some iterations meant to be the Reverse Flash, right? Yeah. And they sort of make you think that's what's going to happen a little bit when you're in that first time travel, or not the first, but in the second time travel moment.
Yeah.
Oh, no, is it in the first where he sees him before he jumps out again? I think he sees him once, and then the second time he gets knocked out by the mysterious monster.
Yeah, I think it's sort of similar, like they're running side by side, or he sees him in like the darkness.
Yes.
It's almost like the little 1-inch man from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he sees him in the corner of his eye.
Yes. And the other thing we're dealing with the dad in this footage. Are you telling me that the only camera in the grocery store, the only one, is above the tin tomatoes? You have one camera? I mean, how much do those tin tomatoes cost? Like my dad used to manage a grocery store in the 90s. There were cameras everywhere. In the parking lot, there were cameras. Come on.
So the next scene, Bruce Wayne scolds Barry because Barry's like, "Hey, I could change the past."
Yeah.
And Affleck is like, he does a little 5-minute cameo, maybe 3 minutes, where he just says, "Hey, Barry, you can ruin everything." And he's like, "I need my pain. You can't take away my pain. I need my pain.
Share your pain with me.
Share your pain with me. I feel your pain. Share it with me." So that happens, and then Iris comes back in, and then that's when we get to the scene where all the sitcom comedy happens, where he cleans his apartment.
Yes.
And then keeps knocking over the closet and all that. I loved it. I loved his empty fridge, though. Oh my god, that was
that was fine. That made sense. The one bit of humor that did work with me though was the lasso of truth scene with Batman. I don't know why, but I kind of chuckled at that one. That was one of the things that made me laugh. And then Barry's like, "I don't know what sex is. Why? Stop being a pervert, Ezra. Stop being a pervert."
I thought it was too much like the joke in the Joss Whedon one, so I was like,
I don't remember the joke. I don't remember anything about that movie. Thank God.
But anyway, that was like the part that I reminded me of from the Justice League was when I think Aquaman was sitting on top of the lasso of truth.
Oh my god damn, he was. They reused the joke. Shit.
Yeah. So when I saw
liked.
Yep. And that was like I didn't like that joke just because I'm like, it's Affleck's last outing. I don't need a
Did you
joke
like
about
Batman's costume?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. To me, it's just a different way. And there's one thing. So it's me personally. I do like it. It's something different we haven't seen before. And the other thing is, I know they're trying to sell toys.
Yeah, so, I like the collar scheme. I like the blue cape, the blue cowl and cape.
Yeah,
there was something weird about the chest bit. That was too like armory biggie big. But but in general, I did like it.
Yeah.
I did actually think with those two Ben Affleck scenes to kind of catch us back up to that last moment.
Yeah.
I did think watching those moments, I was like, I really wish I was watching a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Yeah, I do like that action scene. That was pretty. Like I was sitting in the theater. I'm like, man, he's so fucking awesome. Even though he's like eating shit when he's like dragging and he's trying to jump over the cars, I still thought, oh my god, Batman's so goddamn cool because he just like glides and like he's trying to fight it. And that's why I was okay with the armor as well because he probably knew the situation. Yeah. And I do like the danger that had the little viral. I'm like, that's interesting. That does seem like a Gotham-y kind of supervillain kind of thing where they're trying to.
The other thing that screwed up this whole plot line again. There's so many things, but when Batman's hanging from the bridge and he's holding the guy, and Alfred's like, if that falls into the water, it'll destroy the world. It's like that should have happened. That should.
And then Barry changes the timeline
back in time.
Yeah,
messes up and then thinks, oh my god, I'm back in time. I can save my mom. And you do it that way.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I honestly thought that's what was going to happen because I think we even guessed this. We guessed in our previous stream. We were trying to think of, okay, so Batman fucks up and then Barry fixes it.
Yes.
And saves Bruce, and then afterwards says, "Hey, Bruce, I saved you."
Yes. We did. Can you tell me what I predicted? Because I don't remember. Or was this?
Oh yeah, that's right. No, we could predict. We could say it now. You predicted at the end it would be George Clooney.
Oh my god, did I really?
Yeah, 3 months ago you said it's going to be George Clooney at the end of the movie, and I said, "Oh, that would be great, but maybe it'll be Val Kilmer." And then we said, "Oh no, Val Kilmer is great for funny. Top Gun." Yeah, but yeah, you said George Clooney. Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You called that 3 months ago.
Oh, that's insane. I totally forgot that.
Yes. So that's okay. Because I remember both of us, we heard rumors or, speculation. And both of us were like, George Clooney. I'm like, stop it, Luke. It's not a prediction if you know it.
Yes.
But
well, I did know it was him. But I forgot that there were, now you've reminded me, I remember there being, yes. So deep in my mind, it was there. But I forgot.
Yeah. I'm just talking about 3 days ago. But like 3 months ago, you did predict the end of the movie. Yes.
The other annoying thing about that last scene, and this is not to do with the plot, but I was like, I started recognizing where they were. I was like, this is outside St. Paul's Cathedral in London. I was like, this is literally, I know where I am. Why? This isn't wherever Central City. Like, dress it up a bit.
You should refilm it and have you come out of the car. That'd be great.
Oh my god, I should. That'd be great. What's the next bit? What happens next? Ezra house.
Ezra house, timey-wimey, and then let's see. Barry goes back. Okay, so I guess this is the point where he goes back.
Yeah,
because he's in the he's in his apartment, and then he leaves leaves Iris in his apartment and goes through the Speed Force to go back in time to fix the mistake. And then he puts the can into the grocery cart and says, see you later. And then he's on the way back. And then he sees his new life flashing before his eyes. That's when, that was cool. I did like that. I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then that freaking speedster dude pushes him out and then he lands in 2013.
Yes.
And I did laugh at the gag when he steals the clothes from the old lady. That was funny. I thought
that was fine. That was fine. He took the guy's pants and the girl's top. That was funny. But the thing the other that was stupid though is it's like, why did you go inside?
He couldn't help himself, and he probably thought he was back enough because he didn't know he got out 10 years too late.
That's true, but there's no sort of attempt to even find out what the date is first. There's no sort of like Marty McFly. What the hell is the date? Where am I? What's going on? 1955? What? Like, and obviously there's plenty of Back to the Future references.
Plenty.
Jeez, we get it. You saw Back to the Future. Can't we? There needs to be a rule in Hollywood now that because the Avengers did it, this has done it. Other time travel movies do it. There should be a rule that you cannot mention Back to the Future in your time travel movies now. Should just be a rule.
You know what's funny? Because this is funny because we talked about this in our previous stream.
Did we? I don't remember.
We talked about Back to the Future, and I said the reason why they always mention Back to the Future is because it's shorthand. Back to the Future is time travel shorthand, and no matter what movie you're watching, everyone knows Back to the Future. It's almost like oh God, there's this okay, so I shared this clip a couple days ago, but there's an interview with Conan O'Brien and Bill Hader, and Conan always does this. I think it's like his 5th time, but he says, "Hey, Bill Hader, do your Tauntaun impression," and they ask the audience like, "Hey, do you know what a Tauntaun is?" Everybody in the audience gets it. Meanwhile, 5 minutes earlier, he did a joke about Burt Lancaster, and nobody knew who the hell Burt Lancaster was. But he was like, "See, they know it. The audience knows the Tauntaun." So with this, I feel like everybody in the audience knows about Back to the Future, but they may not know about Eric Stoltz, but everyone in the world knows about Back to the Future. So I just think it's shorthand. No matter what happens, it's shorthand. Because even our favorite movie, Luke, Deja Vu, steals that whole dialogue scene from Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
So it's just shorthand.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm okay with it or give it a pass. That's why I give it a pass.
Yeah. Trust your movie. Trust your story to explain time travel without it.
Mm-hmm.
Make your thing that. Like you
Jumping ahead a little bit, I do like the spaghetti discussion.
I didn't mind that, surprisingly. I was like, yeah, fine. That's a fun analogy. I've not seen that one before.
Yeah, it was really fun too because it just says like no matter what happens, it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it because it was just like the basic gist is like, yes, everyone thinks it's a straight line, but in actuality, when you do this, you fucked it up. I'm like, so anything's up, anything could happen. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm down with this movie. The movie basically explained the time travel or the multiverse thing, and he says no matter what happens, you fucked it up. So,
and I legit think that the movie could have hung the time travel multiverse stuff just on that scene without the Back to the Future references. I think that was clear enough.
Yes, I agree with that. Because like the Back to the Future stuff is just because it's just like an Easter egg.
Yes.
It's for those who know.
Yes.
Like you get it, Eric Stoltz.
Did you know that Eric Stoltz was here?
But Luke, this is what we're surrounded with every day. Because like the other day, I was watching this little Instagram video, and it's like, did you know that blah blah blah? It's like, yeah, I've known that for the last 20 years. It was like, did you know James Cameron wrote "I'll be back" and Arnold tried to say "I will be back"? It's like, yeah, I fucking know that.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Any Terminator fan knows that. It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our culture these days, and you have to explain it to these kids. Because Luke, I don't know if I told you the story. I did tell my friend Joel the other day, but when I've been trying to find the Michael Keaton toy. And I called up GameStop because
the one that I have, this one.
Yes, the one you have, because everywhere it's sold out. I waited too long.
Wow.
I waited too long. So I've been calling GameStop, and I'm like, "Hi, do you have the McFarlane DC Multiverse Michael Keaton Batman Flash figure from the new movie? Can you describe it?" And I said it's the Michael Keaton Batman McFarlane DC figure from the new Flash movie. It's like I couldn't say any more words to describe it, but this person who must be younger than me had no idea what the hell Michael Keaton was, because she said, "We have a blue one." I'm like, "Holy crap, you don't know who Michael Keaton is." Oh my God. But yeah, we're in that generation, Luke. We're in that generation. We're old folks.
It's funny. The other day, Claire, I have the vinyl for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Just because it's a good collection of
Oh,
songs.
great. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Claire was like, do you think people watching asked if kids watching those movies knew that those songs were old songs or songs made for the movie? And I began to think, I was like, oh, surely they must. I was like, I think anyone with half a brain should know that they're old songs. But then but you've just mentioned that. I'm like, but maybe there are people who probably thought, who don't yet realize. And I do have to give a little bit of grace to some of that stuff, because there's people who talk to me about stuff from the 80s or 70s or 60s.
We just had it the other day. Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna know everything. I remember when I interviewed Nicholas Meyer, I got my ass handed to me because I hadn't seen Casablanca, and he was like, I was like, I'm sorry.
And you did. J.K. Simmons was a yellow M&M.
Yeah, no idea. My memory of the yellow M&M is 90s guys. Not J.K. Simmons. Didn't know.
So that's why I give it a pass. But although they did talk about it too much about the Eric Stoltz thing, even to the point where I'm like, even Ezra should know. The character should know. Like, wait a minute, he's the Marty McFly in this universe, because he should have known that of the deleted scenes.
Yes.
Any Back to the Future fan knows about Eric Stoltz. Any Back to the Future fan.
Yeah. Because then they mentioned a few other films where there were actor changes, and it's like, you've made your point.
That was a bit silly. Although when I saw that joke about the Top Gun, I'm like, that's why Tom Cruise saw it. He had to get his Pope's blessing to the joke.
Do you think he really liked it?
Yeah, I think he likes look. Do you know he watches one movie a day?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I didn't know that, but
that's his thing. So that's why I'm like, he loves movies. So whatever works for him. I think he loves movies. So that's why I'm like, yes, I do absolutely believe he liked it. And although I do think that one quote of him saying it's the movie we need right now might have been a bit much. I don't even know if that's true, but I do know that he probably did enjoy it.
Yeah. I gotta say, side note, watching, I texted you this, I think, but I was like, watching that Mission Impossible trailer on the big screen, every time I see it, I'm just like, I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait for that movie. It just looks so good. Oh my god. Yeah.
We call it my friend Joel. We talked about it last Sunday, and he was like, "Dude, I'm waiting for them to announce the tickets," and they did. And he bought like all the tickets he needed, because they're only showing Mission Impossible for 1 week in IMAX before Oppenheimer.
Oh, right.
So he had to make sure he got his tickets for that week. He's like, I'm going to see it on the biggest screen, and I'm excited about it too. I'm really most excited to see how Mantis does.
Yes.
I want to see how she is, because I know her as a goofball. All her Instagram videos are hilarious.
Katana. Wasn't she Katana in Suicide Squad? I could have swore. I must be wrong. Let me look her up.
Yeah, because the girl in Suicide Squad was something else. Because Palm was a model before. I think Guardians 2 was her first movie, and that was 2017.
Yeah. Let me see what else she's done.
Yeah,
I like her a lot.
Yeah, but like, I'm so excited to see her as a bad guy. I'm like, ooh. Yep, Robo Brandon says that was a different guy.
Oh, she's in the Suicide Squad. That's probably why I got confused.
She is? Oh, that one is a weird cameo.
She's just
she's just a patron in the bar. Because I remember watching the Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh my god, is that Mantis? Because it's such like a blink and you miss it, and she's just in the bar somewhere dancing with the Spot guy. What's his name? Polka Dot Man. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. I was wrong on that, but no, I like her a lot. She'll be cool. I think she'll be cool.
Yeah, totally. And cool. Because like, she's been showing all her stunts and stuff.
Yeah.
On her Instagram. So okay, what's the next thing? Doubles. Oh yeah, so this is when they're in a scene talking to each other in the room, which I thought there's some good moments. Now I do like the idea of him contemplating punching him. I don't know why I felt that was funny. Like, how about if I just punch him really hard?
Yeah, it was. The film tried to be meta, I think, because the film was trying to say everyone has been complaining about the Flash being annoying.
Yes. And
now we're going to try and he's the audience. He's us through Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman. I want to just punch this fucker in the face.
Luke, you crack me up.
Because he's so annoying. But again,
For
it's
those
like,
who don't know,
yes,
Ezra Miller's only in 30 seconds of Batman versus Superman, and then in the Suicide Squad, he's in it for like less than 15 seconds. It looks like I hate him.
No, I don't remember him in Suicide Squad. Justice League is mainly what I'm referring to. He was so annoying.
But it's just funny that you mentioned those two movies. I'm like, he's hardly in those.
Did I mention Suicide? I meant Justice League if I said Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So like I felt like that was trying to be meta, but the problem was that he was acting that way. That Barry was acting that way at the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. He was acting autistic, and then suddenly he like magically became not autistic.
Yeah, I do agree with that, because like when he gets to that world, it's almost like he automatically changes, but even though he should have been the same. Yeah. But I think he sort of like matures, like, oh, that's what I'm like. Okay, I'll try not to do that. But honestly, it's almost like a different character when he gets into that world.
It is, and that's where I start to like him more. I'm like, I am kind of okay with you now. It was weird because I hated him for so long. I've hated that version of the character for so long.
Yes,
is what I should say.
I do agree, because after seeing that performance when he's in the new world, it's like, oh, I like this. I like him now. Because in the beginning he's sort of weird and too much, but like I do like him in that world. And I do like the idea. It's like, wait a minute, tonight's the night of the lightning bolt. We gotta go.
Robbo's comment is funny. He missed a scene where the Predator stole his autism.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Oh, the Predator.
We won't go there.
What Predator? Anyway, let's see. Okay, so we're at the scene where they break into the lab. And I thought that was fun because they go and they showed the whole process of like, all the molecules going through the wall.
Yeah, the phasing was cool. Yeah,
that was cool. And then I do find it goofy when they get to the glass one. They walk through it and then the doors open automatically. I thought that was a good gag. I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah,
I like that one. And then like when they get switched around, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is the part that we kind of got right, kind of got wrong, because I kept saying it. I'm like, he's going to lose his powers, Luke, and you're like, no, he's not. He's not going to lose his powers. He loses powers because it kind of does the opposite effect. It takes away his powers, and gives the powers to the new Barry. And the new Barry has a sort of a new power that they don't really touch upon. They do it like twice, but like he has a healing power because his back heals right away. And then later in the movie, when the guy's all burnt and crusty, he touches his hand and he heals the original Ezra.
What that was, this is, I think this is comic book nerdiness.
Okay.
I think that was the electric charge of like the speed force that younger Barry passed on to Crispy Barry, and that's what finished the process of restoring him. I think because I'm assuming the situation would have been the same. He would have been shot through with the lightning bolt and would have needed to have healed. The question is, why did the lightning bolt not kill Barry Prime? Because if it in theory would have killed, if it was taking his powers away, that probably should have killed him. But maybe it's just hangover. But that's a
comic book logic.
I don't need to get hung up on that.
Comic book logic. That's how I saw it.
That was fine with me.
And then I do like it because it gives the urgency of the moment. Like, oh god, now he's stuck here. How does he get back?
But it does. Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but then it adds this other new plot element of now I need to get my power back plot. When it's like, okay, we're in this Batman universe. Zod is here. You're trying to save your dad. You're trying to save your mom. Now you need your powers back. Like, too much stuff was going on. Like, it is a miracle that this film is as coherent as it is, but I think it's because when they add these big plot moments, they just sort of very quickly set them aside to just focus on Zod and sort of ignore that other stuff.
Yeah. Shane Ford has a comment about the healing. It seems to be implied that Flash has super speed healing. We never seen it happen before he loses his powers, and I don't think we even seen it before, but I think there's both supposed to happen. Okay. I think it just has the. Yeah, I don't know. I'm of the opinion that only the 2013 Barry has that power because
but he gets
his
shot.
back heals. Oh, that's the other thing too. Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, negate
He's
that.
like, I
negate
can get
that.
shot. He's like, what'd you think? Of course you get shot.
I did like that gag. That was funny. So after that, he gets back, doubles. They go to the lab, lightning bolt. Now this I might where I might be like, okay. Oh yeah, so they go to his apartment, which I'm like, wait, he has the same apartment? That threw me off.
Yeah.
But I think it's just simplistic. It's like, let's keep things simple. It's already complicated enough. We got the one set, and it's too complicated as it is. We'll keep things simple. He has the same apartment.
It would have made more sense for him to be in that weird garage place from Batman Justice League where Batman found him.
Because both of his parents are not in jail or dead. He doesn't live in the warehouse.
We still got the powers. Okay, fine.
And this is before then, too, 2013. Because the warehouse would come after that. So
that's
there
true.
You go. That's true. Yep. So I give a pass to that. But, yeah, they try to keep it simple. Same apartment. But that was my only issue. But then you see how the powers work. Instead of getting the new origin story, you see the origin through this silly Barry where he's like, I could do this, I could do that. That was pretty funny where his clothes burn. And then he ends up in the street. And he's just an idiot. And I felt like the music choices in this were a bit weird. And this was one of the first weird music. Yeah, because this one I didn't quite like the music choice. So I felt like it should have just been like orchestra.
Yeah.
And the same thing with later. Because this movie made me miss orchestra music. It made me miss themes.
Yes.
Because it happens later. I'll mention it now because we're talking about music right now. But at the end, when it's like go time, you have Batman in the air, Supergirl's there, they're all going to work together. It cuts to like the White Stripes, and I just got a headache from that. And I wish it was like a heroic orchestra.
Yeah.
Going to the music because I thought, man, this is great. But then it took me out of it because I'm like, ooh, I don't like this song, and it's overbearing, and I just wish it was just like like something. Not the Superman theme, but like like that's iconic for a reason. Yes. And I felt like it needed that for this. And I think there's a similar situation where just because I'm just thinking of my nerd DC brain, but I think that one music guy for like Justice League had a fight for his themes to get in there because I feel like some people wanted to change that. Might have been Wonder Woman. So like. Maybe there's a fight behind the scenes. Like, no, we want you to have this song.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't amused with any of the songs that they picked. They didn't need. I mean, it's the movie starts off with a song, and I'm like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, stop it. It's funny. I say Guardians of the Galaxy, but the very first Iron Man does the same thing. Iron Man really started it. Iron Man starts with oh crap! What was the song? Start with AC/DC. It starts off with an AC/DC.
Oh, it does start with AC/DC. Yeah, it does.
So Iron Man really does. Kick it off. But it's like, let's stop it with our superhero song. Back in Black. That's it.
Back in Black. There you go. Back in Black. I think the only one who kind of got away with it was the Spider-Man 2 with the raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yes.
But that works because it's supposed to be silly.
Yes. I agree.
And kind-hearted, yeah. But like it felt out of place here because when he's like learning his powers, I wish it was just like wonder, like, oh, look what he can do, look what it's great, and then it just ends up being silly because like everything falls apart. Truck falls over, he's naked, he's trying to get the clothes off. It should have been like some sort of orchestra or like something fun with that, like adventurous. Like Barry is a fun character, so have some music that really has it. Because later in the movie, when freaking Keaton gets in the picture, you got some awesome Batman themes when he's jumping like dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, it's so good. Well, anyway, we'll get there. So Barry learns his powers and instantly goes to sleep. And it's funny too because he's eating that rotten broccoli and feeds it to the old one. He's like, yeah, that's terrible. I thought that was funny. But yeah. Hang on, let's see. For dumb reasons, I like the White Stripes as a bookend for the Flash and the DCU since Icky Thumb was used in the first Justice League trailer.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. I forgot about that. This isn't serious defense, by the way. Oh yeah, obviously. It's okay. It's okay. To me, it's like it's the Flash.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this, Zod comes to Earth, and I don't even know the transition between this because I do know that old Barry goes to sleep, but I don't know what
it just happens. It's very weird. It just happens.
Yeah. Because I'm like, why did they leave the apartment?
Zod. Let me think. Zod. Does Zod come before Barry does the power transformation?
Wait a minute. Now
Zod comes before the power trans, doesn't he?
I remember this now. Okay, so he lost his power. They're inside the apartment. Barry fell asleep eating the peanut butter. So they both go to sleep because he wakes up to the vision of the Dark Force.
Yeah.
Because it attacks him, and then that's the scene transition because they go out for breakfast.
Yeah.
And when they go out for breakfast, that's when they see Zod on the TV.
Yes. Now, I gotta be honest, didn't need any of it. That was a really weird thing to hang your big villain on, bringing back Zod, bringing back that moment from Man of Steel. I remember Barry has that big moment where he talks to other Barry about the kid that he saves and the dad he doesn't save. Again, you set that up and then you didn't pay it off. Right. We actually see them again. If you remember, there's a scene.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, so surely he's going to save them this time.
Yeah.
I guess this time they both die.
Yes. I would agree with that because there's things that they could have cut down. I don't mind Zod coming back, but that whole explanation of like I didn't save them. I'm trying to think about the reason why about that.
Why
he just felt guilty.
Yeah,
he felt guilty for not saving them.
Yeah, something like that. I felt guilty for not saving the dad and not being fast enough or something like that. But I just kept thinking, why does everything in this stupid universe have to revolve around Zod's arrival to Earth? BVS starts with what? Zod and the Zod attack in Metropolis. Batman's there. Now we're back there again. We have had 3 films out of where it's back to that. Really?
Oh yeah, because in my defense of this, Luke, because like we're going to have the same discussion again, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. So you said that, and I said nothing has happened in this DC universe with the Justice League, and the only main event is the 2013 Zod. So that's why they go back to it.
It's your Flash movie. Do something with the Flash villain. Like again, your murder mystery. This should have been a time travel murder mystery.
But it is not that. We're talking about what it is. So my defense of that it's okay with it is because I'm thinking of that branch theory. I think that this universe, the reason why I'm okay with the movie as it goes is because I see it as a branch that should not exist or whatever, a timeline that doesn't exist. Yeah. So it's trying to kill itself.
Yeah.
So like everything goes wrong. And everything that should have happened is not happening because it's trying to destroy itself. Like it's imploding on itself because it should not exist anyway. Like as sad as it is, Kara should not be saved. Zod should never go to that planet. I think it's all caused by Barry going there and fucking it up. This timeline should not exist. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. That's how I see it.
So do you see this timeline? This is where things are complicated for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this timeline as the 1989 Batman timeline?
That is complicated because there's different suits in the thing. There's some similar suits. It's a different Batcave.
Very different Batcave.
They do not reference a lot of... the thing they only reference is the Joker. The laughing bag.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it as that, but if anything, they do pay respect to that character. The Batman character.
Yeah.
Because like if people do think and consider this canon with that, which to me it doesn't, but it is a nice way to bring back Keaton with. That's another thing. This movie is like a good way of bringing back a character without any. I hate to say this. I know it's going on record. Damn it. But without any real consequences, because it doesn't exist. It's a timeline that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't matter, it's okay how you feel about this Keaton.
Yeah.
It's just a fun adventure to bring him back.
Yeah.
It's not like Indiana Jones 4 where we're stuck with that. That's part of canon. That's there. It's a stain on the canon. But with this, it's just like it's like another adventure. So if you want it, you can keep it. If you don't want it, it's there. It doesn't exist because it's a different timeline that gets crumbles in anyway because it gets fixed and deleted.
Yeah. Because then it's like, well, wait. So then
yeah.
because it's like, well, are you telling me that the Keaton universe is deleted now and only existed because the Flash did this thing, and now the Flash fixed it? That universe doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it does still exist. I'm just saying this strand doesn't exist. So Keaton, I would like to. Oh, this is another thing I predicted because you kept saying no, he didn't, because you were saying that Keaton retired because he was like, oh, my family, and I was saying, what if he fixed Gotham? What a twist that would be. And I did like that because it was different. It wasn't, oh, Rachel Dawes died. Oh, Alfred died. No, it was like, no, I fixed Gotham. It's the safest town in the city. And I kind of lost purpose, but it's the safest town. I'm like, that's something different. It's positive.
It's true. It was like a positive spin on Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Like if he was like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Job done. But what was weird though was it's like, well, if everything is fine, why is the exterior of your mansion like decrepit at the beginning, and why is your front door just propped open, but then everything inside it, and then there's like dust and crap all over the place in your mansion, like when they walk through the suit of armor room, there's dust everywhere. It's like, and you're like all scraggly haired and bearded, and I'm like, well, and eating pizza. What, like, are you trying to do? Like, you're trying to be the dude, and you're not the dude. Like, what is going on?
My defense is because this is, again, I'm bringing my own history and baggage with it. I remember, I don't know if it's like Tim Burton who said it or Michael Keaton who said it, but like, when they did Batman, the original Batman, 89 Batman Returns, is that he's really Batman. And he doesn't know how to be Bruce Wayne. So that's why he's always awkward in real life. So I feel like this is a Batman who's Batman still, but he doesn't know what to do with his life because he can't fight crime anymore because everything's clean.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, and not only that, but he can't be Bruce Wayne because he's awkward. So he's like, I don't know. So that's my defense of it. That's how we see it. You can take it or leave it. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. But yeah, that's why I was okay with it. I'm like, yeah, he's Batman. He doesn't know how to be Batman anymore. So he just stays inside and just like, I guess he's happy that the city's clean or whatever.
But do you think how much of that is reshoots to cover up the fact that Batgirl is not coming out?
That is true because there's scenes where Supergirl is in the middle of Gotham City that are not in this movie at all. So I feel like it could be reshoots.
Yeah.
That's another point because my theory is like, oh yeah, the timeline kills itself, but there's probably a timeline where it goes on.
Where they defeat Zod.
Where they defeat Zod, and it continues because that was probably the original plan. So
because it was meant to be the 89. It is meant to be the 89 world.
Yeah, but that's not what we got.
Yeah.
So those are all deleted. So, but I'm sure it was something else. But what I got, I'm okay with because they're trying to wrap it up, and I'm like, all right, fine. That's what you're selling me. That's what I'll accept.
Yeah. Yeah, I watching it. I think even when we did our trailer breakdown, when the Batcave looked very, very different to the 89, I thought, you know what, this is a different Batcave. You're not going to remodel a cave, so this is just a guy who looks a lot like Michael Keaton's Batman and has
a different version.
It's like when he's explaining the spaghetti and that there's two very similar timelines. This is just one of those very similar timelines.
He does explain that too. Yep. So he says so it's okay. He's basically telling you like, no matter what happens in this movie, your original movies are safe.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I will say that. Of all the music choices, I did like that old school song was playing in that one. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that one because he's trying to be. Oh yeah, I like how he's Batman in that and fighting. And then the Prime Barry keeps getting his ass kicked by Batman because he's not fast anymore.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. I do like that scene. I liked it. I thought it was fun. And of course, Keaton just like sitting around in flip flops eating pasta. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that was weird for me, and this happens with both Batman and Supergirl, and this is because the film is so overloaded with plot lines that they keep ejecting and forgetting. Is that characters have to turn really quick, and like Batman's like, nope, not gonna help you. And that's just it was manufactured drama for Barry to go to the Batcave and do some stuff and be like, I know you're watching. My parents died too. Martha, save Martha. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to help you. Here I am. I've shaved. I've cut my hair. I'm Batman again. Like in the span of like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we've discussed this before.
But still.
We've discussed this before, but like Luke does not like the dead parents origin for any superhero.
No. I don't mind it because I like the idea of heroes born out of tragedy. Like that's fine. It's
but you're just tired of seeing it in the movies.
All these DC movies just keep hanging on it, which is why the original Batman is so great. 89, it's there, but that movie just kicks off and he's like, yeah, I'm Batman. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Great, you're there, and then you learn this stuff along the way, but it's not like holding the film down.
Yeah.
I think that's and I guess like Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man had that problem where they were like, we're gonna redo the Uncle Ben death again, and it's like, you got to move on. We've just had Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that does that, and then has 3 films that have that as an anchor for his motivation, and you need to somehow get Spider-Man to be Spider-Man without retreading this shit.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the whole thing with Barry, though. I feel like his whole life, it's sort of like what the movie's about, though. His whole life is about trying to save his mom, or focusing on that. Meanwhile, he's just let it go.
Yeah,
accept what it is.
And I agree, and I also think had the film been more focused, because it's people are gonna be like, oh, but it was all about saving his mom. But I think the film could have been more focused about saving his mom, and there could have, because it was like I said, the murder mystery. It's saving the mom. It's saving the dad, and then it just becomes all about, I need to stop Zod because, oh my god, there are no metahumans. Oh my, it's like, whoa, like just pick a lane, because there is a metahuman. You have another Barry here. You have another, so there's clearly metahumans. Like, and I think if there would have been, if you could have had an emotional beat between Batman and Barry, where he's like, and they do have it, but it's like there's so much other stuff happening, where by the time he gets to the point where it's like this, and actually I think he only said, does he say it to he says it to Batman, where he's like, this is the universe where my mom lives and I want to save it.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so much other stuff that when we get to those beats, I'm kind of like, oh, I've actually forgotten that this is all about saving your mom and your dad, because Zod's here and Batman's here and other Barrys, hey, doing his thing.
You're really hung up on that laugh. Okay, so we have the scene where they finally team up. Bruce Wayne, cleans up. He's like, okay, so maybe I'll work with you guys, to help you out, because he gives him the coffee cup. I was like, oh yes, he made him coffee, and then because he's freaking Bruce Wayne, he's awesome. He already has the folder ready. He's already, let's get going here. And
I like that.
I love when they get the Batwing out. He's like, all right, I'll help you out, and then we'll get the hell out of here. And it's so cool. Like, I'm going to be all fanboy, but I love when Keaton gets out of there, and he's just he has not lost a beat. Like, and not only that, but they give that character, this version of the Batman 89, so much respect. And I'm like, yes, this is how he is. Like, at least in my opinion, he didn't feel out of character. This felt like 89 Keaton.
He did. I agree.
Yeah, this is completely like he's probably the best part of this movie.
He is.
Honestly.
It's like all the marketing is on him.
Well, they're trying to avoid Ezra Miller, but still. What do you call it? When he gets there and he's like, you're strapped to your parachutes. It's like, where's yours? And he has the thing. Oh my god! And then I love the gag when he's going to use the bat thing, the bat rope or whatever, and then Barry hangs onto him with the leg up, and he just looks at him like, what the hell are you doing? That's great. So they get up there. I don't want to explain this whole thing, but yeah, there's some great gags. There's I like the shovel drop because they're trying to be sneaky, and the shovel just drops, and then the alarm instantly gets set off. And then I like how the new Barry 2013, figures out he can't move people too fast while in super speed because then the other Barry just starts vomiting.
Yeah.
And then Batman has to save the day doing the whole fight scene. And
Yeah.
it comes to my favorite gag joke, my favorite scene of the movie, Luke, after they save Kara. My favorite scene, Luke.
Yep.
They put him on the elevator.
Ugh.
And he gets his little ruler out and he says, "How much do you weigh?" That was the member berries that I liked. I liked that member's berry because I was like, oh, yeah, this Batman would do that. His stuff isn't updated because he hasn't been Batman for a couple years, so he's still doing this, what he did in the days.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I don't disagree. I think I enjoyed every Keaton Batman moment.
Yes.
He felt it's weird because I think if I'm like comparing this to say No Way Home, Keaton is Phil. Keaton is the Tobey Maguire in this scene in this film, and while I was fine with the Tobey stuff, I was itching for more. Where this gave enough Keaton to feel like, all right, we're really back with this guy, and there's a lot of movie with him in it, not just here's 40 minutes with him. It's like an hour and a half of Keaton coming and going, and it was good stuff on that side.
And I'll say this. I appreciate it because this is probably part of the negotiation when he did the movie. He was probably like, I'm not coming in just for a cameo.
No.
If I'm going to be in this movie, give me something and give me some fun stuff to do. And I think they accomplished that. Because I honestly, like, I know you don't like it because you're like, oh, but when he pulls that fucking ruler out and he's like, how much do you weigh? And then he does that thing. I'm like, that is so fucking Batman 89. I love it because he's very technical. He's a smart dude, but he doesn't have the new tech because it's all old shit from probably 15, 30 years ago, but I love it. But he's still fucking awesome. I don't know. Keaton is so cool. Even when they get to the top and he's like, he's ready to kick everybody's ass. He's like, we'll get through this.
Yeah. What do? We try not to die.
Try not to die. And what do you think of Kara? So now this is where Kara comes in. What do you think of Kara?
This is where it gets tricky for me because again, like, good actor, looked great, stunning girl. Like, give me a film with her. Like, every guy will go and see that film. My God, just gorgeous. Like, come on. And then
good with what she has, what little she has.
Yes,
she's very good.
And she's good with what she has, but it's the unfortunate thing is that she's very one note because she doesn't have any emotional range. And this is. I'm not criticizing the actor. I'm criticizing the film, the script, and the direction with what they had with her because I felt like I've seen her outside of this movie and like she has a face that has emotion. Like let her use some emotion. And so it was one of those things like, okay, yeah, they're trying to adapt a different version of, I think it's what's called the Red Sun, where Superman gets captured in Russia. And fine, but again, this is where you're like, okay, this is a whole other movie. This is I
do agree with that. Where it's just like, it was so sad because like I really love her performance.
Yeah,
but like I almost wish like she had something else before this. And I don't know. Because she's really good. She's fantastic, but like she doesn't have enough to go on. But she's making the most of it. She's making the most of it.
Yeah, and again, like Batman, she had this weird turn of like, "Oh, humans did this to me. I'm not going to help you." Goes and watches Zod for a second, and then
something was definitely cut. Yeah,
loads must be cut. You know.
Yeah.
But like, and then she comes back. Oh, okay, I will help you. And it's like, there's just enough. There's just enough to like let that work. But it's wafer thin, and they're giving all of the meat to Keaton.
Yes,
and she's like, I don't know, some crumbs on the plate, and it's like, I wanted more of her.
Her role, I know, I agree. Oh my God, you have no idea. Like, we'll get there, but man, I guess I'll see it now because we'll get there. I was in tears when they couldn't fucking save her at all. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? No matter how, like, she was like meant to die, and it killed me. It killed my heart. It killed my soul because I really liked her. And I was like, fuck, I understood where 2013 Barry was coming from. He's like, I could do it. I could do it. I was like, oh my God, I wish they could do it. Yeah. Because I was so well, I guess we'll kind of talk about it now, but I was so gut-wrenched every time she fucking got stabbed. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God, Luke. But anyway, but we're still
genuinely that did surprise me. I didn't expect the film to go that way.
Yeah.
And make this an unwinnable situation, which then I think one of the beats that did eventually land for me was when Barry's like Barry Prime, the main one, is like, look, the only way to win is we have to let our mom die.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh shit, yeah, okay, right. That's the emotional beat that you needed. And it landed enough. It's just that there was 2 hours of movie ahead of that was so convoluted that made it,
and probably cobbled together and cut. Yeah, because you know damn well there's got to be at least 20 minutes of Supergirl cut from this. Gotta be
probably
where it's just like introducing her, giving her more character moments, probably even her saving some people.
Probably.
And she probably had like another scene with Zod before then,
Yeah. And again, I know I've harped on about Zod, but he was just was Michael Shannon actually on set, or was that all deep fake? Because his face looked bad.
No, he was there. He said that he was only there
for like a day.
I think he said 6 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. He said it was a quick shoot. He didn't do that much training because I love Michael Shannon because he just seems agitated about doing any press. I love him.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, this was like easy. It was like 3-6 weeks. I went there and did it. Well, Man of Steel, like I had like a whole year of prep and 6 months of intense training. And this was easy work. It went by in a flash. I was like, oh, okay.
And that would be why it just,
they didn't take care with his suit, because I feel like all the Kryptonian people, they didn't try. Because I remember the thing about Man of Steel, Luke, that thing looks so good. His suit looks so good that I think some scenes you think it's practical, and it's not. That thing is all CGI.
I agree. Yeah.
In Man of Steel, in the original Man of Steel. So like with this one, it's like we don't got the budget. we're spending the budget elsewhere. But yeah, I do agree that it was a little like funky looking. But again, it didn't harper me, because I was just thinking like this movie has so many issues going on. It's got reshoots. It's got problems.
Yeah,
it's a miracle. I'm even going with this movie, because I could have been there like, oh, the hell with this. But like, I was okay with it, so I kind of gave it a pass with that. And not only that, but it was, to me, it's like the Flash. I'm not emotionally attached to the Flash. Hang on, how's my battery? Okay, I'm good. I just saw something flash in my camera. I was like, oh no. But yeah,
I think this film really, two things. One, it's like we should have just done a Supergirl movie, because I would have gone and seen that. And two,
3 times.
Yes. And two, you just should have done a Batman Beyond movie. That's what I took away from this. Is everyone wanted Keaton for a Batman Beyond, and this is what you get. Sort of F you. But also, okay, there were all of those rumors that there was a Supergirl out there from Man of Steel because of the empty pod. So do something with that. You could have two things you could have done, you didn't do, that were the two best things in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the other thing is, I'm kind of glad this is what we got of Keaton. Just like a one and done thing, like an offshoot. Because I feel like if we brought him back, they might have milked it some more. But that's just my opinion. I know it probably would have been a bigger movie if it was just a Keaton movie, honestly. Yeah. If they brought back Keaton.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would have been fine with a trilogy of Batman Beyond, because he's not Batman. He's too old to be Batman. So this whole thing is training the protege and that would have been great. That could have been cool. That could have been amazing. You could have 3 great films with old Keaton.
Yeah.
Set in the Burton verse.
Yeah.
Modern.
We're jumping ahead a little bit.
Sorry.
I want to. No. It's okay, because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. I love that they give him all the fucking heroic deaths that they could possibly give him.
Yeah.
When he self-sacrifices, I was like, damn, that's cool, and I cried. And then when he's on the fucking battlefield, giving it his all as a human, old 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
And then he says, you know what? You brought me back. That's okay. You saved me, man. I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah.
Because he did, because there was that moment where Crazy Keaton came back, and I love the Crazy Keaton. It was when it's that shot we all thought it was a hot tub vision, but it was actually just his bloody armor in the bathroom. Yeah. And he's stitching himself up, and he's got that Crazy Keaton eyes like, yeah, I miss this shit. I was like, yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's true. What else? What else was good about? What else was good or what wasn't good? I'm trying to think about what else happened at the ending there.
Yeah, let's see. Let me go through my notes here. Okay, so we have rescue Kara. Kara leaves, give Barry his powers. Oh yeah, they strap Barry to the chair.
Oh yeah,
Frankenstein style. Yeah.
Yes. I did have to laugh. I mean, I understand that it's Batman and everything is bat shaped, but I did have to laugh that the kite was bat shaped.
Yes, it works. It works because everything is bat shaped, and all his technology is old.
Like, hey, there's a bat shaped kite outside of Wayne Manor. I wonder where Batman is.
But he lives out in the woods because that's why he flies out on the Batwing. So
yeah, I know it's true. I know, but it was just funny. All right.
I do like how I like how Supergirl comes back because then she just appears and then helps him get up above the clouds and get struck by lightning. Yeah, I did like that. I thought that was cool visual.
Yeah, I think again, like she needed a couple of other beats. She needed a beat where she saw the good of humanity.
Yes,
and that's why she comes back, or something. She needed something like that.
She's so good. I think that's like the biggest takeaway from this movie, Luke. I know we're simping, but damn it, I was like, when she kept dying, I was like, fuck. Yeah. We'll never see her again. Like, I hope there's an Elseworlds. Give her another offshoot movie. Do it. I don't care.
James Gunn, if you don't do it, F you, man. I don't care about a Superman movie. I don't care about Batman Brave and Bold or whatever the fuck it's called. Sorry,
give us a Kara movie. I
want a Kara movie. You know,
I want a Kara movie.
You screwed Henry Cavill. Just give us her.
And like the freaking Wonder Woman 84 completely goes off canon because she's in the real world helping out people. Who cares? Let's just do it. Just do a Supergirl movie.
You know, I was thinking about that. And the only thing I can think of is that 89 has to be Elseworlds. Yeah. The only way that 89 makes sense is it has to be Elseworlds.
Oh, has to be. Because it has to be Elseworlds because the cameo is coming up, the Nicolas Cage one. The Nicolas Cage one should have been in the Keaton verse because that's how Kevin Smith wrote it. But he wasn't there.
Yes. But they made such a point to say, or wait, do you mean we should have seen another at Batman 89, the actual 89 universe, or he should have been in this world?
He should have been in the, like, technically, if you're going to reference Superman Lives, because in Superman Lives, Kevin Smith wrote a Batman cameo, and he said he wanted Keaton to be on all the monitors saying that Superman died and he was a hero, and if there's anybody who can help anybody, it'll be me.
Phil's losing his mind right now.
Phil, are you serious? Come on.
He hasn't seen it yet, and I don't think I spoiled it for him. I don't think I spoiled it when I talked to him. Maybe I did, but maybe I can't remember now.
Okay, so Phil, yes, one of the best moments. I guess we should explain what the reference is, right?
Let's get there first before we get to the multiverse, the big multiverse.
I'll let you go. I'll let you explain it.
Explosion. What I'm trying to think. So so I did like the bit where young Barry is losing. He's losing his shit, and he's so frustrated trying to save the stuff, and he's getting stabbed. And once he got stabbed, I was like, okay, he is the monster, and now we're gonna see him be created. And I like that. I think again, it's like, okay, you've set this stuff up in the past, but so much other movie has happened. There could have been more with that monster version, like stopping him from getting Back to the Future sort of thing. But whatever. So I think they could have more of that, but I did like that moment where, he's trying to stop him. He's losing control. He's just trying so hard to just save this world. Like that was a genuinely good moment.
Yes.
I think.
Because I felt for him, because I love Kara.
Yes. Well, no, yeah. That's why I didn't care so much about Barry, and I didn't care so much about his mom. But I was like, I don't want Kara to die.
And I don't want Keaton to die.
So you need
That's why they're in the movie.
Yeah. So save these two people, please, who I like. Please. I don't care about your mom. I don't care about your dad.
That's why they brought him back, because we were like, we got to have this amazing actress who's incredible, and then we got to have everybody in the fucking world loves Michael Keaton. Sorry, my language. I know YouTube will hate that. But like, everyone in the world loves Michael Keaton as Batman. Everybody.
Yeah.
So we got to have like the two things that everyone loves. Like, we got to save them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking sequel, Supergirl sequel, and it's Michael Keaton. So save them. And and I like how that begins to unfold, and then we get back to the Speed Force, and then we start to see the multiverses beginning to come closer and closer.
The multiverses.
and begin to collide and break apart, and that's when you get the nostalgia porn.
It was wonderful. You know, Luke,
was it?
I think no. Yeah, it was for me anyway. I'm okay with it because we dug up Carrie Fisher, we dug up Tarkin, we dug up old Han Solo. We're digging everybody up. All the graves have been dug up. So I was like, let's dig up Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater. Let's dig up Adam West.
They started with George Reeves. The classic Superman from the 40s, 50s.
Yes,
it's black and white, long time ago. And I liked how his world was black and white.
Yes.
That was sort of weird, but I was like, all right, whatever. But fine.
It works, yeah.
And yeah, so that's the first one. Who was after him?
I think it was Batman, Adam West.
Yeah.
I think he had the bomb or whatever.
Yeah. They did the Batman, Adam West cameo, which was like, that's interesting. And then after him, was it the Spider? The first thing we see is the Spider. It's Superman.
I think we see Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater, of course.
Yes,
I think they come first.
Do they come first? Yeah, and
they come first because
there was something. I guess as we were saying, that was a kind of obviously this is all grave digging now, and I just sort of I don't know. There was something uncomfortable about Christopher Reeves' stuff. He looked like a bad deep fake.
Yeah. But I don't know how they were trying to do the multiverse, but I kind of saw it as Barry's. You know how that room has like all the different visions? I sort of saw those universes as that vision. That was how I got past that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's why because you know how you joked how it's all in black and white, so that's sort of like
Yeah. I can see that.
Because even the Adam West one was all yellow. Remember?
Yeah. I think
so. Maybe it's just So I think that's what they were trying to do to. It's sort of they're trying to hide their less CGI effects, their bad CGI effects. Like example, like in Godzilla 98, it's all in the rain because it's terrible CGI.
Yeah.
So with this, I felt like okay, it's all cartoonish looking because it's the Flash vision, and they all have different colors. Like no one's actually what colors they should be. It's like a different version. Yeah,
that's true.
So that's why I give that one a pass. But yes, here comes Phil. We see the big giant fucking spider.
The spider was all I needed, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this." I was like, "He's not going to turn around. He's not going to turn around."
He did.
The long hair, then he turns, and Nicolas Cage Superman finally exists on film.
Finally exists. Yes, I've been saying they should do an animated movie, like an actual 2D animation. Just do it. Yeah. I think everyone wants it. For those who don't know about this, so in the 90s. John Peters bought the rights to Superman because Waner Brothers let Superman just rot away. So he bought the rights and said, I'm going to make a Superman movie.
Yep.
And John Peters did the Batman 89. So he says, I'm going to do Superman. So he hires Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith writes the script for Superman Lives. And then they hire Tim Burton, pay or play. And they also hire Nicolas Cage, pay or play. So if they didn't make the movie, they all get paid. If they don't make the movie, they all get paid. So Kevin Smith gets fired because Tim Burton's like, I'm going to do my own thing. But in the 90s, Tim Burton, they were making outfits, they were making sets, they're doing things. But Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman in the 90s. And it's so great to finally see it happen. I was like, there he is. Even my mom was excited. She was like waving at Nicolas Cage in the theater. It cracked me up.
So here's a question for you. For general audiences, do you think that's too much of a deep cut?
Yes, absolutely, because it's the fucking Spider and Nicolas Cage Superman. It is,
and he
too
gets
deep
the most
cut.
screen time. He has 2 scenes.
Yes, because Christopher Reeve has like 1. That's it. Yeah. But like Nicolas Cage, full on center frame, almost the fourth lead. Because you have Batman, he's on screen.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who has a scene because it's just like the other ones are just cameos.
Yes.
But like full on fighting Spider, they spent money.
They do the fighting the Spider. They do the actual fighting of the Spider, and then he turns around. He has the most.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It made me just like, I want to watch that movie.
Me too. I would be absolutely fine, like you said, animated or CG kind of realistic-y-esque. Like if they took that style and made a movie like that, I would watch that movie.
Yeah. If they did like Across the Spider-Verse, but with Nicolas Cage Superman, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's because that's fun and goofy.
Yeah.
No, Phil, I was kind of disappointed by this. The polar bears were not there.
No polar bears.
Luke, do you know the detail about the polar bears?
Vaguely. You can remind me and the audience.
Yeah, I want to remind the audience. So in the script, John Peters was like, how come the Fortress of Solitude? You need an action scene for this. Like, how come he doesn't have any guards? And he says, well, it's Superman. He doesn't need guards. He's like, we'll give him some polar bears. Polar bears are the most fiercest creatures in the animal kingdom. Yes, he did. Cage voiced Superman in the Teen Titans movie.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's established Cage is Superman.
Cage is Superman twice. Twice then.
Yes. They got to do a movie, just something. I think they should.
I'm surprised one didn't get made after that Superman Lives documentary. That had such a I thought had a big reception, and people were like, "Give us this."
Yeah, I kind of thought so too. Didn't they even like rumble like, "Yeah, how about we do something?"
Yeah, maybe I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, it was huge.
I think there's still time to do it. Nicolas Cage is still a decent age to do voice acting. He's not too like, man.
Yeah,
he can still do it.
He's not Patrick Stewart in Star Trek Picard Series 3.
I love an animated Cage Superman. Yes, Phil. Yes.
Yeah.
So those are all the cameos. Was there any other ones in that scene? The Flash.
Yeah. No. I think that's all. It was there. No, there was this. Okay, this was strange to me. There was one more.
The Flash, right?
There's a classic Flash with the silver hat, right? The gold hat, right? And I thought, why did you not get Flash from the 90s, you dumbasses?
And Luke, that's another complaint I had. There was no Micheal Rosenbaum.
Right.
Or Tom Welling.
I would have loved a Smallville cameo. That would have been great. But they did Smallville in Crisis. The CW.
Maybe that's what they were trying. They were trying to separate.
Yeah. All of the cameos in this were ones that would have been way too expensive to do in Crisis, but the Crisis crossover literally went to every single DC TV show.
Yeah.
Even Birds of Prey that had like a season. They went to all of those. So I kind of get why those weren't there. Would have loved it, but I like people are like, why wasn't what's his name? Brandon Ralph. Well, he was in Crisis. We already saw him back as Superman. We've done it. We've seen it.
Oh my God, Robo Brando brings up a good point. Micheal Rosenbaum should have been in the Flash. Where's the Rosenbaum? Rosie.
Yeah, that's what they should have done. Have him as a Flash taking off the Flash mask, looking up at the sky.
Rosenbaum, dude, that would have been great.
That would have been good.
Yes, or even had like a meta joke where like Ezra's voice is coming out of.
That would have been
one
weird.
scene.
Yeah, but like, I did think like, what is it? Is it John Wesley? What's his name? Whatever the Flash from the '90s, man. I don't know why they didn't just bring him back.
Yeah.
I know he was all over the Flash TV show, and they finished off that Flash's storyline within this new series of the Flash. But like, if you're gonna bring back a live action Flash, he's like your only one.
Yeah.
Wait,
what they only had it? What?
What's Phil saying? Oh God, from the Batwoman show. What Batwoman show?
I think he's talking about the what's her face? Batwoman show. Are you talking about Ruby Rose?
Yeah.
Phil, explain to us.
Yeah, explain what you're saying.
Maybe.
I don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean.
Explain as we were children.
Explain.
Explain if you were a child. Okay, let's see. Give his powers the battle, constant failure, Dark Speedster. Oh yeah, the Dark Speedster reminded me again. Whenever there's time travel and older versions, it reminded me of that freaking '98 Lost in Space movie, because that older version of the kid. It always reminds me of that every time.
Oh gosh. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's like a fun B movie. It's terrible,
yes, it
but
is.
I like it still.
Yeah,
all these
classic
years
Warner Brothers. Yes, classic Warner Brothers. He's talking about Kevin Conroy on the Batwoman show. That's what Phil's talking about. He's having conversation in the chat.
Oh,
that's what's going on. Okay. He's not talking to us.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine, Phil. Okay, so Dark Speedster, and then Barry. Oh God, that made me freaking tear up, Luke. The freaking monkey, when he pulls out the monkey from his armor and says, "Tell Mom we love her."
You know, but it was also really weird. It's like, where the hell was that monkey? You like pulled it out of your breastplate.
Oh, I thought he pulled it from the front.
Where did he pull it? I just remember thinking it was a weird pull. Like, where did you pull that from? What?
I loved it though, because the monkey was like a great. They made the monkey a big giant plot point, because the monkey was when he was trying to figure the thing, and then the monkey's like, "You're throwing darts at monkey," and he's like, "What?" He didn't understand. Monkey's important to us. And then at the end, he pulls out the monkey. I was like, "Oh my God, monkey!" Because I don't know. I don't know if the monkey
landed. I don't think the monkey landed for me. I understood why they did it, but I was like, "Oh, we're back." Like when the first time when he was angry about the monkey, I'm like,
I don't know. The monkey hit for me because I love toys. I don't know.
I mean, I do too. I still have my childhood teddy bear. You know, like it's still here. You know, so I get Barry's attachment to it, but I didn't get the emotional.
It didn't connect to you. It didn't hit you. It hit me.
Yeah.
So with you, it was like it just bounced off you.
Kind of. We needed more. Yeah. Something more impactful needed to happen with Monkey to make Monkey important. Monkey wasn't important enough in Prime Barry's life. I don't think.
I don't know. It hit me. It hit me in the feels.
Like, is there a scene where his mom gives him the monkey? Because that would have made sense.
I think he had like the monkey with him when the mom died, so that's why he was really attached to it.
Yeah. There should have been, instead of them dancing in the kitchen like a bunch of buffoons, there should have been like a scene where
I gave you this monkey.
Yeah. You know, here's your monkey, and like maybe she calls him monkey or whatever. You know what I mean? Something like, maybe she did. I can't remember if she did, but something like that would have been.
Sweet. Yeah, I think she does. Yeah, because like that's why mom calls us monkey.
Yeah,
monkey.
Yeah.
We're talking about it. I love it. We're talking about monkey.
Monkey.
He got his moment in the sun.
He got his moment. Stupid monkey.
Monkey. The hot toy should come with monkey.
It should. To be fair, if it's to me so important, it should.
All detailed, carved. Oh yeah, what are your thoughts on them creating the Flash Batman suit? I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was fine. Again, it was undercut with stupid humor of him trying to saw the ear off. I just didn't. It wasn't funny. It's like a deadpan joke that like didn't need to be done then. But I liked him like, oh, I'm gonna do my own suit with what I got. Yeah. I'm also sort of like, did Batman like say you could do that? Like he's just like, I took one of his suits and did it, and Batman just doesn't seem to like acknowledge or care.
I think he's fine with it because I don't know. It's like a little detail I noticed in the movie, but like it was solid black. I don't think it's the one on display. It's like an extra.
Yeah, because there were the bat suits upstairs.
Yeah, they were upstairs, and then one of the
downstairs.
Yes. So I think it was just an extra one because it didn't have the yellow. At least it didn't look like it. It didn't have the yellow on the chest when he was trying to hand it to him.
I don't remember. I don't think it did. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah. What else happened? What's after that?
Okay, so we have Dark Speedster. 2013 Berry Sacrifices. Yeah, we kind of talked about that with Monkey. But I do like that. I like that 2013 matured enough to realize the situation and to save Barry. Oh God, I even like the line from the Dark Speedster when he says, "You're my hero." I was like, "Oh no, that's so sad." I don't know. The whole thing was sad. It clicked with me because I found it sad that they couldn't save our wonderful Kara, our beautiful, lovely, amazing Kara. They couldn't save her. They couldn't save our favorite Keaton.
Yeah.
And it just hit me sad there, and it was sad because we all knew we saw it coming. The Dark Speedster was going to be Barry because he got the things in his arms. But yeah, it just hit me that he's been trying to save this universe, but it's almost like he just has to let it go because it's dying. Let it go because you're only making things worse.
Yeah.
So there was that scene. What's your thoughts on this before we move on? Anything?
Oh wait, on which scene? Add? Which scene?
Well, we're talking about the end part when the sacrifice, they're wrapping it up, and he realizes he has to let go. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, sorry, I had an ADD moment and totally spaced for half a second.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I got it. That happened to me earlier. We're good.
No, yeah, it was again, it's back to those frustrating moments because the scene in of itself I liked. I was like, okay, I like the three berries having this sort of berry off, and we're getting to the emotional core of younger Barry and him going out of control, and also older Barry realizing what needs to be done. And but the problem that I had was, well, it's really frustrating that we only got these two very weird glimpses of evil Barry early on in the film, and there was no sense of, gee, I wonder what the F that was. It just sort of rolled off him, and he didn't really spend any time thinking about what is that monster in the Speed Force. That's weird. And so again, but then as I keep saying, that the film is really overcrowded with too many plots to, and everything doesn't really get as enough development, I think. But I will say that, as you said earlier, like it's surprising how well the film it's as coherent as it is, because it's still the emotion. There was still emotion in that scene, which was quite surprising for me, because I was like, I do feel the emotion. It's a well acted scene, and I bought it enough to be like, yeah, okay, I buy this as this is what that monster was. I just wish there was more leading up to the monster. Also, who killed Barry's mom?
Because I thought that we were going to go to that scene where the evil speedster kills the mom, but that didn't happen. Maybe it did in the other cut, but that's not what we got with this one. So I'll just
I'm surprised we didn't get the Reverse Flash stuff at all. I don't know if he even filmed that, but I'm just like that. For what we got, it works. I don't know how, but it works. And even my mom was like feeling it, and she has no connection to this universe. She don't remember the other movies. Like I remember I was trying to explain like something that happened in like Justice League, and she has no idea what the hell Justice League. So it connected with her, and she has no idea about these characters. So if it works with her, that tells me like, okay, the movie did its job. With somebody who has no idea. And like, I did like that scene in the Batcave between the two Barrys, when older Barry is like, you're being annoying, stop it.
Yes.
And that's
the monkey scene.
That is the first. That's the second. Yeah, the first. Yeah, that monkey scene where he's like, "It's that monkey. It's our monkey.
It's my monkey."
And it's like the monkey bit I didn't care about, but everything else in that scene works for me.
Yes.
And then that was one of those moments where it dawned on me. It's like, I wish you had been this mature Barry the entire
in the previous
time.
Movies.
Because my God, this would have been way more interesting to see young, reckless Barry having to deal with older, mature Barry.
Yes.
That just would have made the story better, I think.
Yes. I agree. I agree with you. I agree. Okay, so the next one, Barry sacrifices, comes back to his timeline. Oh yeah, it's the whole scene of the mom in the store. I'm fine with the scene. It worked with me. It's beautiful.
I like the scene. It was sweet. That was another surprising sweet scene that I thought, okay, now, and this is why I'm saying like the last 20 minutes is we're gonna do a quick. This is the Flash TV show episode of the Flash where we're gonna resolve his story because it's been Keaton, Batman, Supergirl, and blah blah blah. But I did actually. There was enough of his mom earlier on to make me understand. You know, he loved his mom. It was a tragedy for him. So there was enough of that to make me buy into it. And I did, you know, I did feel for Barry in that scene where he's making this really difficult sacrifice. Again, I think that scene would have been way more impactful had we known why and how she died.
Yeah.
Because we don't know who killed her. It's still like that's just I'm harping on this point, but to me it's a crucial plot thing where it's like,
yeah,
if we, because that was something that was
it's
really
interesting
in the Flash TV show is the Flash learns that he is partially responsible for her death because he is chasing the Reverse Flash back in time, and they have this fight in the house, and that's what results in her death, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but there's something along those lines. And if he had learned, not only can he not fix it, but he's also partly responsible, that those emotional beats would have been elevated to a whole nother plane, I think.
Yeah. I agree. The thing I like about the scene is that it shows how caring the mother is, which gives us even more reason to care about this moment. Is because even she's this complete stranger, she's still willing to try to help him out, and he has to make that difficult sacrifice. Love that stuff. And I do agree that it's a loose end of who killed the mom. But I don't know. I don't think the movie's too concerned about that. The movie is more concerned about the dad's innocence on the camera. I think that's what it is. Anyway,
it is, but that's a weird thing to hang it on because, again, one camera in all the store.
Yeah. Let's answer Phil's question before we get too far, though.
Yeah.
Phil says, I know this is silly to ask, but does it continue from any storyline from Zack Snyder's Justice League? No, because the Lasso of Truth is a dead giveaway that this is part of the Joss Whedon.
But no, actually, no. Someone, I think Robbo mentioned it, or maybe it was Shane earlier, mentioned that there is a reference to the Snyder Cut. Iris says, I think I saw you.
That's right. Yes. Yes,
so that's a direct reference to the Snyder Cut. So that does.
Yeah.
Complicated.
It's complicated because like the Joss Whedon is clearly a Joss Whedon joke, and then that is a reference to him when he saves her with the hot dog truck. I take that to mean this Joss Whedon cut isn't legit. It's ironic because that's the one that's in cinemas, and WB are like, watch the Justice League. Like the other day, they were tweeting about the Justice League movie, like, go watch the and it was this the Joss cut, and I'm like, yeah, are you dumb? Like, do you not remember everyone like going crazy for the Snyder cut, which even me, as not a fan of that universe, enjoy that 4-hour movie over the 2-hour monstrosity that was the Joss cut. Yeah.
So I feel like this is them saying the Snyder cut is the real deal.
Yeah.
Ignore.
Yeah. And I feel like it's sort of like tongue in cheek too. So it's not 100% saying it's like, I kind of remember you from a few years ago, and that could mean anything.
Yeah.
So, and then we get to the final scene when he gets back to his timeline, and then he's like, oh yeah, my dad's court case. And it's funny because he's late.
Yeah.
But then the footage, the dad looks up, and I'm like, oh shit, the timeline's not fixed. There's a reason why he looks up what happened here.
Yeah.
And then comes Luke's premonition from 3 months ago.
Yep.
He gets a phone call from Bruce Wayne, and he says, hey, I'm pulling up. Congratulations.
Do
Barry.
we actually hear that actor's voice? It was very like hard to hear the phone. I was like, wait, are they trying to mask his voice with someone else's?
In the beginning, I thought it was Ben Affleck, but then later, like when he says, I'm pulling up, I'm like, oh, that's George Clooney. And I sat up in my chair, and I was like, oh my God, here he comes. Here he comes. And there he was, and he was fucking Bruce Wayne. Again, sorry with the language. He was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, George Clooney. And it felt wonderful. I just felt like, yes, my 97 child inside me is happy to see George Clooney as Batman. Overjoyed, excited.
See, for me it was strange because my prediction, if I remember right, wasn't like a positive prediction. It was like, that's the dumbest thing you can do. Is
No,
bring
it
Clooney-
wasn't. No, because you just said he was gonna. You just said he was gonna come in at the end.
Okay, right. So I
Yeah.
might, but it's one of those things where it's like I feel like that was the dumbest thing you could do, because one, are you now telling me that any future Flash movies, this is going to be old man Bruce Wayne now? And if they, my God, if they do a Batman Beyond movie with George Clooney and not Michael goddamn Keaton,
Post-credit scene.
what was
He said he fixed. The post-credit scene after the movie is Barry saying, "Oh yeah, I had to fix everything. It was weird. There's different people as Batman in these different universes, and he's getting drunk with Aquaman because Aquaman is still in his universe."
Yeah, what I didn't understand with the post-credit scene was I thought he was just referring. I know he was. I didn't know if he was referring to fixing George Clooney, or if that was just a reference to Michael Keaton, and like we saw, because we also saw Adam West and stuff. That to me was still a very muddied, unclear explanation. I thought, well, he must still be Batman, because what have you? And so what? Did you go back and not save your dad? Is your dad still in jail?
I think what he did was he went back in time and didn't touch any goddamn thing in the store, because in the first time he touches the glasses, puts all the gear on to hide. So I think when he goes back, he just does the thing. At least that's how I saw it. I'm defending the movie. That's a defending thing that you don't see on screen. But what he does say, his dialogue says that he had an adventure in the multiverse with different Batmans, and then it kind of is implied that he fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, I was very underwhelmed and confused. I think also because I was very distracted by how drunk Aquaman was. It was really annoying. It's like, if you're trying to relay really important information, I'm really distracted by the fact that Aquaman is so drunk, and I don't know what am I, it was weird for me. I was actually annoyed that I waited through the post credits for that scene. I thought, this doesn't do anything. So wait, Shane says, if you want to pull up his comment.
This one right here?
Yeah, so he read it as Barry went through every version of the Batverse. He says something like, they were all these different people and they were all Batmen. Yeah, that's why I'm confused by it, because I was just like, okay, I don't know what Batman is now in this universe, and will this film that was meant to be, or is like heralded as being the big retcon of the DC universe, is also still very confusing, because I don't know who the F is meant to still be there or not. I'm assuming, like, is Aquaman 2 set in the new timeline?
I think the dad still gets out of jail, just that Barry finds his way back to the right universe. That's how. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'll take that, because I think that post-credit scene was only there just to make sure, like, we still got Aquaman to come. We need to get to Aquaman too, because I think that's another misstep with Warner Brothers. I'll fully blame Warner Brothers, because all their advertising is like the closing of the chapter, or, you know.
Yeah, and it was that. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't. Yeah, James Gunn doesn't know. He's clearly, it's a cluster fuck. But
yeah,
there was a very confused ending, because I was expecting a really hard reset, and it really wasn't hard enough. Because it's like, okay, if the Flash is going to come back for a sequel, is his sequel going to be deemed Elseworlds now?
I think if this makes enough money, they'll probably do this as an Elseworlds.
Yeah, and will this Barry jump between universes and just turn up in different movies despite being not the, or will they do something like that? I don't know. Or will there just be a Barry that looks like him that acts mature and not like a idiot?
Yeah. Well, I hope he still acted like an idiot at the end, because
he did it, and it was really annoying. I was like, "Why did you go? Why are you going back to acting like this? Like, you're not Clark Kent. Stop it."
Yeah, because he doesn't have an identity to hide.
No.
Yeah.
That was like that was really jarring for me. I didn't really get.
Yeah. Because the whole time he's mature, and then he gets back to his own timeline, and he's talking like an idiot. I was like, come on, you weren't like this for the last hour and a half. What happened?
Yeah, it was strange. That one was really strange for me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. They just want to leave it open in case the Aquaman. Oh, yes, I do agree with this for sure.
Yep. And again, I think that's why we're not learning about Wonder Woman yet. I think they still want Gal Gadot.
Yeah. If they do a hard... Oh, go ahead. Oh, if they do a hard reboot, it'll most likely be a Star Trek 09 situation when they realize the reboot will happen in the new timeline. Yeah, I think they're going to keep it safe. I think Warner Brothers loves money, and if this makes money, they're going to try to keep it alive as an Elseworlds thing, or I think they'll trust the audience to know that this is a different universe with these characters. Because I think we're there. I think we're at that moment now where James Gunn can do his little thing, and then they'll do these every once in a while, and we'll kind of understand the difference.
Yeah. What do you think about the Flash director being announced as the director for Batman Brave and the Bold?
Before we get to that, I liked his cameo. He had the little dumb cameo at the end. He was eating the hot dog, and Barry stole it from him. Yes. Yeah, he had his little moment.
Didn't know that. Didn't reckon. I don't know what any of these people look like.
But anyway, let's see. Yeah. I think they saw his Batman stuff and realized, okay, he could do a Batman movie. Just give him the Batman job. So, yeah.
And my thing is like, man, because I didn't like it, and I'm not in love with this movie. I have a lot of things that I'm positive about, but I walked away, and that's the thing. That was the interesting thing. There was a part of me that, because there was only 3 people in the audience at the cinema, but to be fair, I saw it at a 1:00 showing on a Thursday afternoon in central London. That's not, you're not going to get a big audience for that.
No, I saw it the earliest I could on Thursday. Yeah, I was there at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
The earliest showing they had was 3 p.m. here. I was like, I got to see this for tomorrow.
Yeah. So, I'm not criticizing. I'm not saying the film is going to do badly because of that. I intentionally saw it at a time which the cinema would be empty. Like, I saw Mario, and it was me and Claire and like 3 other people. So and that movie made a bajillion bucks.
Yes, the Maverick of 2013 or 2023.
Yeah. So I did. There was a part of me wanted to just turn around and ask these people, what did you think of that? So it was interesting that as I walked out mulling this film over in my mind, one of the stewardesses was coming in to like do some tidying up, and I'm like, lady, you got nothing to tidy up. But and she was like, oh, so what did you think of the movie? And I was like, it was so. It didn't blow me away and stuff. And as I was talking, this other lady was coming out, who happened to be American as well. Oh, there you go, Kara. Maybe I should get a Kara figure. Yes. This other lady was coming out, and I sort of, as she was walking up, I was like, well, what did you think of the movie? So now's my chance. I can actually ask someone else who was in the cinema with me, because the stewardess hadn't seen it yet. She was just excited to see it, but she was like mentioning she was apprehensive because it's like, I know Ezra Miller's a alleged pervert. But yeah, the other lady was similar to me. She was like, there was emotional resonance in those moments, but like Kara was flat, Iris was flat. The dad stuff didn't really add anything exciting. It was just a little bit messy, a little all over the place. It was a very mixed bag coming out.
Yeah.
Like if two out of the 3, because I have no idea what the other guy thought, but 2 out of the 3 walked out going like, I'm like, money is a thing that speaks, and regardless of the quality, if it makes the money, the DC WB will do something more with Ezra. But I will say, I'm not excited to see more Ezra Miller Flash after this. I'm more interested in seeing Kara.
Yes.
But I don't know if we'll ever get that.
Yeah. I love Kara. I think if we need a Kara movie. Like that's what I want. I think I'm good with Michael Keaton. Like this was good enough.
No more.
No more. This is perfect. Oh yeah, I had a theory too. I should bring it up so it's on the record. So if it does come true, I said it here.
You said it here.
Yep. Whenever they showed that clip of "You want to get nuts," let's get nuts. When he's in the Batman gear, I
Yep.
always assumed that was going to be part of the end montage. Like Barry goes back to his main timeline, but he's there with Kara, and he was going to raise Kara as like his ward, and like they're going to fight crime together.
Well,
So I thought that was going to be the end credit scene, or the end montage
Yes.
of like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
that was the thing is that's what if I'm making assumptions here, but I'm pretty sure that's what Batgirl was meant to be, because Keaton was in Batgirl.
Yeah.
So he
And
was
maybe
clearly meant to be the one who was going to. They weren't doing Batman Beyond. They were going to do Batgirl, and this girl was going to take over the reins from Batman, and he was going to train. Blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah.
it's like that was clearly going to be the next big thing that they did, and they've completely canned that because, whatever reason you want. Bad or not bad, who really knows? I would still like to see it just out of a morbid curiosity. So hopefully one day someone leaks it, because I would very much like to see that.
But that's my theory, though. I think it's just a repurposed end credit scene, or not end credit, but that montage like of building up hope of where everyone is. I think it's repurposed.
Like he's looking down at her and he's like, "All right, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
And the reason why I think this is because when he says, "I'm Batman," in that first scene, the ring of lights behind him, one's flickering. Like one's clearly out because he hasn't been down there in a long time. But when he says, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts," they're all fixed. And that doesn't make sense why he would fix them all for his little adventure.
I think I agree. I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right there. Yeah.
Because when I saw that little detail, I'm like, that's weird. Why would he fix that light for this little situation he's been in? This one little adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so are you interested in seeing a Flash 2? Like, remove Keaton, remove Kara.
No, I'm okay with this one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this one. It was fun enough. I thought he was good in it, regardless what his personal life is and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fine. But I don't want a Flash sequel. It's like I want a Kara. Give me more Kara. I need Kara.
Yeah.
Why would you give me something I can't have?
Does it frustrate you that you have this Kara, but you'll never see this Kara and Henry Cavill Superman together? Because I think they could have been a really good duo.
Absolutely.
I also like that they didn't get like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Kara. They like the choice of this Kara was great.
Excellent Kara. And we didn't mention it, but I found it freaking heartbreaking when they tell what happened to little Kal-El. I was like, that's fucking sick. Sorry, my language. But for those who haven't seen it, Phil Dragish here. Phil, in the movie, it's explained that Zod intercepts little Kal-El's ship and kills the baby and realizes that the Codex, the monkey skull, is not in the baby Kal-El. It's actually in Kara. And that's why she keeps dying, because they keep stabbing her to get that blood out of her.
Yeah. You know what would have made more? I don't know. That just felt like convolution to me. It was just like just Kal-El doesn't exist in this universe. They're there for Kara. They're just there for Kara. Leave it at that. He killed Jor-El. Her father, his name I think is Zor-El, sent her to Earth. She escaped. And she's the one in this universe. There is no. I would have been fine with that. The fact that they even needed to worry, like, I was hoping they were leading that way when they were like, there is no Superman in this world. I was like, fine. There's just in this universe, there's no Superman, but there's a Supergirl. Fine, Superwoman. What I can't remember. She's Supergirl, Superwoman. I don't care. There's that, and that's who Zod is looking for.
That would have been interesting. The reveal of the big giant dude that they're fighting would be a Henry Cavill. That'd be cool.
Yes, but then that would have meant Henry Cavill, and for some reason WB just hates Henry Cavill now.
Yeah, they never showed his face. No, wait, they did show his face once because he was going through his flashbacks.
Yes.
Once.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was kind of like, whatever. Like, that's all he gets is that weird, like, that goofy scene
Flash
from
vision.
Justice League where he's, like, evil.
Well, we both did it. That's funny.
We did. Nerds.
nerds, nerds, nerds.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a heater. What do you give it? How many? 3 roses?
There we go. Yeah. How many? 3 roses, a heater, or bomb,
Oh.
2 bombs, 3 bombs.
Let's explain this. Okay, so me and we listen to Michael Rosenbaum's Talkville.
I love that you're becoming a Smallville fanboy now.
Yeah,
by the way,
just
the
through,
fact
just
that
through
you
this
went and met
podcast.
Rosenbaum and you're like Smallville, Talkville. I'm like, son, I know you're crediting Anthony, fine, but like I've been talking about Smallville for years. I'm just glad you're coming to it. I'm just glad you're coming around to Smallville.
I love Talkville. So Talkville with Michael Rosenbaum is the best. Oh yeah, I really didn't mean that, Luke.
Look.
Do you have any other figure? Oh, you have all 3 of them. Okay, you have Lana, Lex, and
yes.
That's my question. Okay, you had more of them. Okay,
I paid a lot of stupid money to get them, and that's why they're staying in their box.
Because I saw that, I'm like, I want to get them, but which ones do you have? Tell me.
They only came out with those 3 when the show first came out. They did those 3 specials. They weren't in stores. You had to buy them online. So I never saw them in store. And they only did those 3. And then I want to say around 2008, they then did another round, which was the Justice League that was on Smallville.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have those figures. They're all out of their boxes, but they're still in good condition, have all their parts and stuff. And that was it. But I always wanted this original lot, but they've always been very expensive online. A good £100 per figure.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. Hope Claire's listening.
believe me, I understand, because I think all my Sailor Scouts are like that price.
Yeah. So these
Collecting.
Are staying in their box. No one's touching them. It's mint condition. They're just sitting there. That is, Lana, because my daughter's name is Lana. That's her inheritance.
Lana!
Right there. Lana! Yeah.
Okay. So getting back to our rating system, we're stealing the rating system from Talkville, and it's the Michael Rosenbaum rating system. So it's roses or bombs. So there's 3 bombs. 3 is the worst. 2 is second worst. 1 is least worst, and then there's a heater right down the middle.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 roses. 3 roses is great. 2 roses is good. 1 rose is like fair, and then there's like heater where it's like nothing. So. What do you give it? How many roses or how many bombs?
Let me think about this. Oh, this is tough. It's toughish because I don't think I want to give it. I don't want to give it a bomb because I think that's a little too harsh.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a heater.
A heater for you?
Me.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the fairest thing because there are some good bits, Keaton and Kara, but there's so much, and I do like some of the early action with Batfleck and Wonder Woman. I'm just sort of like, I think it's probably a heater where it's not enough. It's not special enough. It doesn't feel like a special movie. It's a average movie that has a couple of special moments that I don't necessarily know are worth the average person's time sitting through.
Right.
I think if you're a DC super fan, you'll watch it and walk away with those bits were dumb. These bits were fine. But it was overall a pretty uneven film. So I'm going to go with the heater. I'm going with the heater. Yeah.
Right down the middle. With me, because it's me, and I enjoyed this, I think I got to give it like a 1.5 rose. It's not full 2 roses. It's not 3 roses. Absolutely not 3 roses.
What would be 3 roses in what would be 3
in
roses
this
in
universe?
In a comic book movie?
I'm trying to think. So a 3 roses to me would probably be like, oh shit, I keep forgetting. For those who don't know, right? Let's just explain this because this has come up like 5 times already. Luke loves X-Men, and X-Men are so passable to me. Like, I watched the movie once and I forget about it. Hang on, Luke. If we're going to be doing that, I got to
the X-Men.
hang on. I got to pull it out. You pulled yours out. I got to pull mine out. Where the hell is it? It's in here, Luke. Give me a second. Oh no, where is it?
Oh God, what is it? What happened?
God, where is it? Erased from existence. Oh God, is it in the living room? Oh my God. Oh my God, it's probably in the living room somewhere. Shit. I was just in storage the other day and I found my original Wolverine.
Oh,
My original
nice.
Wolverine from the
one
first
where
movie.
he's like this,
where you do the thing with his back and he goes.
Oh, I think
and
I
his
have
black
one
hair.
of those.
Yeah,
I think I have one of those. Yeah.
Yep, it's the original Wolverine from the black gear from the first movie. But anyway.
Oh, okay, mine's from the second movie. I think that's awesome. I want to see it. Get it? I want to see it.
Oh, right now?
I got nowhere to go.
All right, keep the audience entertained.
Okay, I'll keep the audience
entertained. Wait, there he is. He was stuck between my yearbooks. Never mind, I found him.
Oh,
thank God. Okay. So I don't know how he was stuck between the yearbooks, but he was. I'll put some light on the subject so he's in focus.
Oh, neat. I love that. Look at that big giant head of his.
He's pretty in good condition. I think the only thing on him is like the little scratch on his chin, but other than that, he's pretty good.
That does look good. Mine is from X-Men 2. You know what? Surprisingly, the X-Men 2 figure that's of that kind of brand has a surprisingly good likeness to Hugh Jackman. I don't have it available to hand easily, or I would get it out and show you. But it just doesn't want. He doesn't want to. Oh, there he is. There he is. That is in good nick. That looks really cool. Damn, I love that looking figure. That's a good looking figure. Figure.
Yep, I just found him yesterday. Like, oh my God, I got to show Luke this. I was going to save him for the podcast for. Oh, hang on, let me turn that off. It's too bright. I don't like it. So bright. Yeah, I was going to save that for the podcast, but I'm like, nah, we're talking about it now because we're talking about X-Men. But yeah, Luke loves X-Men. To me, they're fine, but they don't last up here. Like I have to watch them every 5-10 years.
I even have Wolverine's dog tags right there. No one knows what that is. That's Logan dog tags.
Oh, and you have the compass. Yeah, I see the compass back there.
Yeah, I put it. Yes. It was downstairs for the longest time. I had a little shrine of pirates with the ship and the compass, and I thought I rearranged some stuff downstairs. So I brought them up and thought, I can hang that there. Got my ring of power there. Got my dog tags there. Got my compass there.
Phil is right. They did have the actors' names on the boxes.
Did they? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So back then it was like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine actually said it on the box. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Shane Ford. Thank you.
Okay. So getting back to it. Oh yeah. So Shane Ford, because people might just be listening. Shane Ford says X-Men will always be top tier.
It will.
But yeah. So my 3 roses would probably be Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Because I remember that shocked me years ago rewatching it. Like, damn, that movie's perfect.
It is.
Another 3 rows from me would probably be. I know it's goofy to say this, but like Daredevil. Batman 66. That's like perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I just watched that the other night. That's perfect. Another 3 rows for me would probably be the Guardians movies, all 3 of them. I'd give them all roses.
Okay, I wouldn't give the second one 3. I've only seen 1 and 2. I'd give one. Mm-hmm. I'd give 1.5, maybe 2 roses. Mm-hmm. I'd give 2. I give them both 2 roses. The first. Yeah. 2. I've not seen 3, so I can't say.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, those would be my roses.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, those my. What are your 3 roses other than X-Men? Other than X-Men.
Yeah, so X-Men 2 would be 1. Probably Logan would be 3. Spider-Man 2 definitely with you on that.
There we
one.
go.
Totally. Batman 89, Superman 78.
Oh shit, Batman 89. Yes,
those would be 3. Unbeatable sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But then like Batman Forever would be probably a rose or a rose and a half. It's
I
good,
think so.
But it gets a bit too cheesy.
Yeah, I think I give Batman Forever 1 rose. Maybe 1 rose.
Yeah.
Because I like the Rosenbaum system because it really makes you think about it, and it's better than giving like, oh yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. It's like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I think we need to co-opt this rating system now for everything. On all of our shows, whatever we're talking about and whatever guests we have, we need to say, all right, we're going to do the Rosenbaum rating, and and do it that way because it's so like, yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. Star Trek 2 would be 3 rows. Star Trek 4 would be 3 rows. Star Trek 5 would be probably give it a heater, but I love it.
What would you give Hulk 2003? Because that's been giving a lot of love recently.
It has, hasn't it? It's weird that we talked about it, and there's a lot of people coming back to it right now.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th anniversary or 20th anniversary at this
20th,
point. Right?
yeah, it is. I would probably, because we went into so much detail with it, I'd probably give it a rose and a half.
Yeah.
There were things that we discussed that thought they needed to improve on, but there was so much stuff in it that was, of course, give the Dark Knight 3 roses. The Dark Knight is a 1 rose, 1.5 rose film. Batman Begins is much better.
Batman Begins is almost 3 rows. I think I'd give it 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
Okay, Batman Begins gets 2.5, then Dark Knight gets 1.
Yes.
I know people love that film. They use that as their touchstone, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, the Spirit gets 3 roses. If we're going to count those movies, I think I'd give Sin City and 300 3 roses. I do like those movies.
It's been a long time since I've seen this, so I can't give a rose. But I remember liking most of Sin City.
Yeah, because that's just like directly from the page to the screen.
What would you do the Watchmen? Back to Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, Watchmen, comic book, roses. How many?
It's kind of hard to talk about that one because that one had such an influential impact on me.
Yeah.
From seeing the teaser trailer on the big screen on IMAX opening night of The Dark Knight.
I still remember that teaser and the music, and I'm like, I love that, and I've never been able to find that music. I don't know what it's from.
Oh, the first of the teaser?
I can never.
It's from Batman and Robin. The beginning is the end. Yeah, it's that song from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
It's been in my head this whole time, but I've never. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. The send me darkness to the goes that rise through you.
Yeah, maybe
that one. Yeah, that one. Okay, but honestly, because I really love that movie. It was very influential on me because I think right after I saw the movie, I went right to Borders Books and got the book and instantly started reading. Like that day of, I'm like, I got to get this book. In high school, I did my final book report on it in high school.
Nice.
And I did like a whole collage thing and drawing for my teacher. She actually kept it as an example. I can hear some echo. Am I too close to your microphone?
I can't hear anything, so I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. So I really like that movie. So I might give it like 2 roses because I really like it.
It's one of the only Zack Snyder films that I genuinely like. So I probably
did too. I did too, Phil.
I like the motion comic. That was fun.
Yes, I was so into that Watchmen. I had that as well.
Yeah. I'd probably go as far as to give it 2. I did enjoy that movie. It's like I said, it's literally one of the only Zack Snyder films that I like. Mm-hmm. There's just something about his movies in general that I don't connect with at all. But I did. Mm-hmm. That was like the perfect comic book movie for him because it was that perfect level of grimness that he likes to do, and that's why I think didn't work with Superman and Batman v blah blah blah. But that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one. So what?
And
go on.
Well, one final thing. So, what was your favorite scene in The Flash?
Oh, Ryan, what's your favorite? What's your 3 favorite scenes?
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite scene?
Oh dear. Oh, that's hard to now try and think back to that whole movie. It's probably a toss-up between Batman fighting all the Russians and saving the 2 Flashes, or the when the Flashes are working together at the end and bouncing off each other.
That is cool.
Those are 2 really good action scenes that I liked. and then I like the emotional scene with the mom at the end.
Yes.
Of those three, I don't know which would be the one I like the most, but those are the three that stand out to me the most, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I got to find my third scene because I only have two. So the first one, I liked Keaton dying. I thought that death scene was perfect. When he's on the ground and he's like looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
And Barry's like, "Oh, I wish I could save you. I could save you." Let me try. He says, "You already did, kid. You already did." I was like, "Oh, that's perfect. Love that." My second favorite, I've talked about it several times, but I love that when he gets that stupid little ruler out and he's like, "How much do you weigh?" And then he has to calculate how much explosion he has to put on the bomb.
Yeah.
Love that. That was great. That's totally Keaton. I love that. And then let's see, what would be my third favorite scene? I guess just to throw it in there, I'm going to say Nicolas Cage cameo, just to finally see that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I'll add that in as a fourth bonus.
Yeah. Because I was almost going to say monkey. I was going to say monkey at the end, but I'm not going to have monkey as my favorite third scene. No, it's gonna be Nicolas Cage fighting the freaking spider because the movie stops it. The movie stops in its tracks to show it.
Yes.
Oh, the kitchen fight. Shane Ford likes the kitchen fight.
I didn't care for the kitchen fight.
I thought it was fun, but
I didn't dislike it. But I just thought, why is he hiding in the cupboard? And then why is he walking? Why is he walking over the table with one flip flop, acting like the dude? I just don't understand why they dressed him up like the dude. He looks like the dude. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. It didn't make any sense to me. Like whatever.
I wish there was more. Oh wait. Okay. I'm gonna swap out my third favorite scene. It just popped in my head because I was in the theater thinking, "Oh my god, this is how they should have done it." But when Kara learns to fly and she's flying and the camera's wide and you could see her flying through like the ocean and all that, because I remember in Zack Snyder's it's like this when he's like flying.
Yes.
But in this one it's like wide, you see everything she's doing. I'm like, that's how it should look when Superman's flying, or in this case, Supergirl.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I think that was one other bit with Supergirl that annoyed me with what they did with her character. She just instantly knows how to use all of her powers, whereas Superman had to like learn his. Yeah. And like if she landed on Earth and was instantly captured, how does she know how to use her powers? They again a simple flashback of them like, we're gonna go to Earth or you're gonna visit Earth, something, I don't know, something that implied that she'd already been there. But then I guess Zod and all them learned their powers really, really bloody quick in Man of Steel as well. Only Clark had to spend his entire life learning his 5 powers.
Oh, I did like that. I like that little tiny callback when everything was too loud. I was like, that's right. Focus on the sound of my voice. Just focus.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I completely forgot. It's another cool moment. But like, I like when they're effing with Zod, and then Zod finally like hones in, where he realizes that he's fast because he's like getting punched around, and he's like, and then just goes like boom. I was like, yes, that's Michael Shannon. That's the Michael Shannon I love.
That's
big
what
meaty
he spent
head.
6 weeks doing that scene.
Yeah, 6 weeks. Okay, so hang on. You guys didn't even bring up her hot dog fingers. Oh, he's referencing Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think.
Oh, right. I've not seen that movie, so I can't speak to that movie yet.
Oh yeah, I figured that because you're like, there's no good multiverse movie. I'm like, but you didn't see Everything Everywhere All at Once? What happened?
Yeah, I need to see that. But in general, it's like it's boring. I'm bored. I'm still bored with the concept, even though we've only had like 2 movies. I feel like Spider-Verse and No Way Home and the TV show stuff, the TV show multiverse, there's this really...
that's right. You're the TV guy. I keep forgetting you're the TV guy.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of it, and just... Wait, no, Supergirl had long fingers. What?
I don't recall this. I remember her being like thin, and then her... It's a reference to the original Flashpoint comic. Oh, yeah.
Missed that.
I didn't read the comic. Didn't read the comics.
Nope, me neither. I know I did read Flashpoint, but I don't remember. Saw Shane. I'll hand
Sorry,
it
Shane.
Part. Yep.
Went over my head.
That's a reference that went over both mine and Frank's head, which means that's a super deep cut.
Super deep cut, Shane.
Frank knows some deep cuts. So that's
I'm a movie guy. I don't know anything about no comic books. Speaking of which, I got it from storage. I haven't read it yet, but I got this a few years ago for a potential another mashup. The Batman Dark Knight Master Race. Master Race. Nice. So if I want to do another Bruce Willis one,
yeah,
I could do something or work from that.
Like it.
So with that being said, hang on before Shane Ford. What's Shane Ford say? It's all right. Just thought it was a weird to include. I don't remember the hot dog fingers in the movie. Maybe it happens. I don't know. Not at all. Okay, so is there anything else you want to say about the movie, Luke?
I don't think so. I think I've said pretty much all I have to say. I'm gonna do another brief talk about it on Sunday afternoon, because I'm chatting Strange New Worlds, season 2, and then my friend who's coming on also saw The Flash. So I feel like we'll do another brief chat. No, nowhere near as deep as this one.
No, this is deep cut. This is 3 hours almost.
Yeah. And I'm sure Clara's like, where the fuck is he?
I know. I got a phone call too, so we're gonna wrap this up soon.
yeah. So that's fine. But no, I don't think I think I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah.
For this, it's straight down the middle. It's not going to blow you away. It has a lot of problems. It has a couple of gems in there, but it's not gonna. I'll be interested to see how well it does. It doesn't absolve my opinion of Ezra Miller, which is like everyone's acting like this film just like makes it all better. Which I know you can distance, and I can do it with some people like what's his face, like Kevin Spacey. But I'm like, he's a pervert, but allegedly.
Mel Gibson as well. We love the Lethal Weapon movies, and we're able to separate Mel Gibson from that.
I think it's because this film just the PR worked so hard to pretend none of that had happened, whereas like everyone else, like Johnny Depp, was like fired straight away, but somehow he's managed to avoid, or Ezra, they, them, whatever, he's managed to avoid anything, and everyone's it's like, what dirty pictures does he have on everyone at WB, right? Like he must. So but go. I guess if you're interested, go see it. I think everyone here probably has seen it, but if anyone listening hasn't, go see it if you're interested. It might not blow you away, but you might be mildly entertained with a little bit of annoyance.
Yeah, I think with my final thought, I think it's a fun movie. I think it's more memorable than Fast X and Transformers that I just seen.
You saw it? Wait, hang on. Are you serious about that Optimus Prime scene? Are you joking?
I'm not joking, Luke. He freaking pulls a Mortal Kombat ending. Like, okay. So, okay, people who are watching this.
Spoilers for Beast Machines or whatever it's called. Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Spoilers for Rise of the Beast. So at the end of the movie, the bad guy has like no arms. So he's standing next to a volcano. And Optimus is like pushing his head into a volcano and says, hang on. We're getting too far ahead. So in the middle of the movie, so the bad guys and good guys are fighting, and then they get separated from a bridge. And then like, I'll get you, like, I'm going to win the day, Optimus. And Optimus is like, I'm going to rip your fucking head off with your spine. He says that. He literally says that like in the middle of the movie.
Not the F word.
No, he doesn't say that word. I'm throwing that in. But he says, I'm going to rip your head off with your spine.
Really?
He literally says, he says that in the middle of the movie. He says that. So at the end of the movie, the guy is there. So they've been fighting for a while. So both arms are off. Optimus is pushing his head into a volcano. And then I think so. I don't, because like someone said, does he say, I'm going to kill you? I'm like, yes. I think he says, I'm going to kill you or you're going to die. Something along those lines. And Optimus takes the head off, goes, and it comes with the spine and the body falls to the ground. Armless, because the guy had no arms because Optimus had cut those off already, and he tears off the head. It is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, and that's the only thing I remember from that movie other than the G.I. Joe tease at the end.
I remember in the trailer that there is a line where in the trailer Optimus says, I'll kill you, and I don't know if that's actually from that scene in the trailer, if they just took that dialogue and put that there. And I thought, oh great, Murdermus Prime is back, and wow, I guess he really is back. Peter, whatever his name is, who voices him, must be annoyed with his cinematic portrayal because he's so not what Prime is in the cartoons.
Luke, whatever he is in the cartoons, I love him in the movies. I love how he's like Dirty Harry meets like Rambo. Because at the end of that third movie, when like because what do you call him and Megatron team up? He kills Megatron, and then there's Spock robot is like, Optimus, I'm sorry, like pleading for his life. The war is over, and then like one arm, he's like, he doesn't like. Okay, Optimus is right-handed. His right arm is gone, so all he has is his left hand. So he picks up his space shotgun. You didn't betray me. You betrayed yourself. Puts the shotgun to the back of his head and no, Optimus. I love Optimus. And it's like it goes to the second movie because at the end of the second movie, I'm pretty sure he's like, I'm going to rip your face off. And he just goes.
Yeah. He was super murdery in Sin 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and however many there. He's always been very murdery. I'm like,
he even becomes murdery in the one where he becomes evil because they finally just make him an evil robot.
Yes.
Because he got space virus. Oh my God. He's so cool.
I'll see it at some point. I really wanted to go see it, but the cinema that I typically go to weren't showing it, which to me was a sign that
that one's a solid heater, Luke. It's a heater down the middle.
I can imagine. I love Beast Wars. That was my favorite one of my favorite Transformers cartoons growing up. So, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say like if you're going to the movies and you have choices to see and you've already seen Spider-Man, see this over Transformers. See this over Fast X because that came out a few weeks ago. But yeah, this one it has memorable moments. I'm still thinking about it, next day. So that's good.
Yeah.
I think I don't know about any other movies I've seen. I think those are like the ones that are on par or close to this.
Yeah, I don't think anything else has come out or is coming out. The next thing I'll see will be Indiana Jones.
And the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. And then I'll see Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us. This has been a marathon. This is great. Thank you for joining us, honestly. Yeah, I can't say enough. No, Shane, we're not going to talk about that. I ain't never seen no flop movie called Shazam 2. I ain't never seen it.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about Blue Beetle. The trailer for that is dumb enough. I don't need to see it.
I ain't seen no Shazam 2, and I ain't going to see no Blue Beetle.
Nope.
I ain't going to see that movie. Anyway, okay, thank you guys. And, before we leave, share your credentials and your connections and your website and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah. You can
Plug your
follow
stuff.
my nonsense on Twitter. My handle is Luke Writes Crime. You can follow my show, my YouTube show, which is my YouTube channel is The Luke Deckard Show. It's fun, I guess, I think. And I think that's it, really. I don't really use any other social media. So follow me there. Come hang out with me on what day is it today? Friday, Sunday afternoon. Sunday evening UK time. I'm chatting Star Trek: Strange New Worlds and a little bit more of the Flash and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all I got.
Mm-hmm. And this Sunday, you can see me talk about Dazed and Confused and A Man Called Otto on my I Want My TV Now channel. Yeah. So for those who are on Chief Brody Rules, go follow I Want My TV Now on YouTube and watch me and Sarah talk about Dazed, Confused, and A Man Called Otto.
Yes. And we will be back in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Chatting the Keaton films.
Yes.
We're coming back for Keaton.
We're coming back for Keaton.
That figure looks so cool.
We're coming back for Keaton because we love him.
We do.
Man, Keaton's so cool. Like I can't. Like he's 71 years old and he's still. I know it's not him fighting, but still, in my heart, I'll believe that he's kicking ass.
I'll it's a comic book movie. I'll buy it.
Yeah,
it's comic books. It's fine.
Okay, so thank you, everybody.
See you
in the next one.